to our next session of Mystara in Rapanathak. We are up to session number 131, or Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 25. And they're up to the 25th day of the 7th month of the year 1011.
The music was totally not ominous at all.
Well, it is a nice soundboard. It is Curse of Strahd. Does help for hints. At the table today we have Martin.
Yes, I'm playing Atruaghin, Silverleaf. He's a Path of the Kenzai monk, and he's level 12. And I can't think of anything else.
He has fancy blades.
Yes, he does. A moonblade and a flame tongue longsword.
Which are going to appear soon?
Maybe, but it looks like everyone else is taking the melee characters.
Yes, but ranged and melee. Ranged is useful outside of small enclosed spaces, but not so useful inside small enclosed spaces.
Okay.
Especially when you're not sure which direction the opponents are coming from.
Alright.
Fly 60 feet up in this corridor. About 10 feet high.
Yes, if you go 60 feet up, that means there might be some living in stone. Next up we have is Sean.
Alright. Playing Cetus, the Water Ganassi barbarian, who is the newest addition to the party, like not being a new player.
Though he does have an interesting backstory of being related to his old character.
Yeah. I'm sure we might see him at some point.
Next up is AJ.
Thanks. So I play Makeda Aiden, or Merc for short. He's a human bard. So he's a merchant or a trader by nature, which means that he often will try to negotiate or talk things through, and where he can't, he would like someone else to do his dirty work for him.
I'm sure everyone else is the big stick and you're the light touch.
Hopefully.
I am the stick.
Watch me bash things with you.
Next up is Rhiannon.
I am playing Hildren, the Genasi Ranger Cleric, who is trying to keep those who want to race ahead in check. And a little bit sad she only got to see her family for like an hour before running out.
But hey, at least you know where they are.
Yes, I know where they are. And I trust them to be safe.
As long as no one drops a meteorite on them. Next up we have is Jeremy.
Good evening all, I'm playing Leeches, the Sheldon, down with a humble peasant in a oppressed Canadian world, but has now risen to take a position as a noble of the world to help ensure that the king works closely with the Sheldon people to make a combined kingdom.
And I'm sure it is all the knowledge of Dimitri that will keep the kingdom safe.
Obviously he is there for
Okay, who would like to do the recap of last session?
I can. I mean, I always can, but...
I open it up to the floor because anyone might want to do the recap because we've had a few bam, bam, shoot, shoot, shoot. Especially in Star Wars.
That's why I generally wait a little bit before volunteering. So we ended up getting... we started out by getting people to come to the keep. As after we were mid-thing with Genrick, and Genrick ended up just walking into a tree and disappearing. We're sure he's going to return because he's had tantrums and walked off before. as that was happening, after that, some of us went off and did sendings or talked to the air, knowing that somebody's listening. And we started gathering people to help rebuild, work on, get rid of the influence of that pig on our keep, which is still technically unclaimed, and a conversation we will probably have again later. We had my people arrive, including my family and fiance.
With a slight miscast.
With a slight miscast, because I cast a second sending, not realizing they were already in a ritual, thinking it was going to take them a little while to get started and get moving. So they landed and ended up somewhere else, where Trellin came and found them and eventually brought them back to us. We had a whole heap of so I've got guards and my family who are trained as guards, all hanging out and helping and taking leadership in the keep. Trellin has had a whole heap of stonemasons and workers come in. Dimitri called for some servants to help clean up, maybe a couple of librarians. We had a weird storm that I thought that was possibly connected to Thor, but it wasn't. We rested, then we decided as people were there, and we could go out, let the keep start being restored and stuff, and start exploring. So we decided to head out to look at the hut and cottage we were told about. So we checked those out. There wasn't much there. I had a vision of a creature connected to wealth and or a trap, which I think...
Well, actually, you never made it to the hut or cottage.
No, we didn't. We ended up...
Which is why there was nothing there, because you never made it there.
That would explain it. We ended up going to the Knoll outpost, which then led us to the Mouth of Doom. So we started heading into the Mouth of Doom just to do some reconnaissance. Found some interesting symbols in the first room. We decided we were going to go down the door with the pentacle, which was connected with summoning. And we opened the west door in the first corridor and found a mural which we only saw briefly as giant centipedes came out, and it was destroyed in the resulting conflict.
I'm sure it wasn't important anyway.
No.
No great clue there, I'm sure.
No.
We saw part of a robed figure or a hooded figure.
There was colours and robed figures. Yep. And we finished off, so it was a 20 feet long mosaic of some sort of robed figure with different colours. At the end of the combat, Dimitri decided we needed to see colour, so Dimitri cast light on my wolf tooth pendant, and that's where we ended. If anybody, I can't think of anything I missed.
Unidentified fisherman fell from the sky.
Oh yes, Cetus. Did I not talk about Cetus's entry?
Nope.
An identified fishman got dropped by a giant eagle and started asking where Genrick was, and has sort of decided to join us just until I think he finds Genrick. He's hoping he'll come back. I don't know.
He's there until Drusilla says if he can come back. You don't know if he's there as punishment or if he's there as supervision for you all. He might be back.
He's quite happy to see what all the events and challenges he has in the area.
And he also gave 10 knives a piece of a tentacle that he grew from his back, and now he has a hole in his back. It's not bleeding or anything, it's just a missing bit of flesh.
We had elf meat calamari.
Which was yummy, because it's 10 knives. How did I forget Cetus's entrance? To talk about Cetus's entrance?
Because this is always hilarious. What could go wrong if you do that?
So the dragon dug a hole in the courtyard, so he just dug a smaller hole next to it in the courtyard.
Not a dragon, a drake. Oh, and we all had to come up with a password for the guards.
So do you start from the bottom or from the top?
Well, I sort of start from wherever you are. So I can actually give you a very base map of the area that's very close but not quite the same because, hey, they don't actually stick to grid lines. Because, hey, grid lines would be smart.
Why have grid lines when we can have curvy, wavy lines?
Well, they
Is that the room we entered from?
They do half squares as well as other bits. So if they did just curvy lines, that would be frustrating, but not as annoying as half squares or quarter squares or eighth squares.
Mm.
I feel that.
You do have a grid, and they don't stick to the grid. It's annoying.
It's even worse when they have the grid but still do half squares and
Exactly, yes.
four triangles.
So this is roughly going to be the starting area, and I'll connect to where you got up to.
Yay, I don't have to just ask for information. It'll be up there and I can just copy it.
Well, that's partly why I thought I would actually use the tool
I appreciate it.
semi-correctly.
You know, we're aware that I have a tendency to, like I have a need to take lots of notes. And I figure as we're going to be coming back to this dungeon, a reasonably accurate map is important.
Shifting that this time. The dungeon floor plan doesn't shift around whenever we leave.
Yeah, it might.
Colours.
Ooh, pretty.
Just to let you know, that's basically going up.
Stairs.
And let's see, you went down.
We went into the south room, south corridor. So we went through the south door, which opened up into a corridor. On the west side of the corridor was a single door, which is the one we went through. On the east side, there were 3 doors, and then a thing of a section. Oh, Cetus also did a check to see the structure, the social structure of our group, which had interesting results.
What?
It was leader thinks he's the leader, wants to sleep with everybody. Nobody wants to sleep with him.
That's true.
If you were in Seeker's party, that would not be the same case, but
I'll get someone eventually. Bit of charisma.
Hildren's in a committed relationship.
You do Hildren's little sister, who I did think about making a character. No, I think there was a joke that Hildren's little sister was Genric's ex-wife at some point.
No, it was the joke was she was an ex-girlfriend and had cursed him.
Ah.
So, sort of.
Okay.
Yes, my little sister who is Air Genasi and Berserker
That's
as well.
close enough.
That's my sister.
Oh yes, she looks very serious.
No, she's following in her mother's footsteps. But we're also Vikings, so, you know, there's only so serious you can get.
Got shield maidens, they're tough swords.
We did have a drinking song. I think there was a reference to a drinking song that was called Tusk Love in the last episode.
I remember that.
Okay. Let's see.
Which is an actual book now.
I haven't read it. Wonder if I should read
I don't
it.
think it's out yet, but they've announced that somebody has written it. Like a sponsored one.
Tempted. So tempted.
Okay, Jeremy, does that help you?
Yep, okay. Thank you.
That's what I'm wearing.
you go.
And then where are we?
You're in the room with the angle.
Yep.
Okay, so considering how annoying mapping can be, though there is one module you cannot map. There's a old con module called Rahasia. Because there are unknown teleports in there that are literally portals that just connect corridor to corridor and changing north, south, east, west constantly on you. And if you just keep walking down the corridor, you can actually be going through 20 teleporters before you hit a wall. Or never hit a wall. Or it can literally be the same corridor because the portals open in different directions.
So you could be stuck in a loop.
Mm-hmm. And no matter how many times you mark it, you may actually see the mark on a different wall as you come out. Why is the mark now on the right when I've only been marking on the left? Okay, so last thing you had done in that room was deal with a bunch of giant centipedes. And when we say giant centipedes, we mean centipedes about yay big. Because they're the size of a dog. Small dog. But considering most centipedes are supposed to be yay big, a centipede this big is quite big.
And yes, because we noted that possibly people were reacting before they saw things, we decided to provide some light to the situation.
Okay.
Before we go through the south door, I would expect.
So there's no other doors in here. We've destroyed the wall. There's no centipedes coming through.
No, there are two doors in the room. One you'll come through.
And where's the other one?
In the south. If you look on the screen there, you got it right
Okay,
there.
cool.
And that's an approximation of the map, not an actual.
Yeah, no, I know. Did no one took damage? Did anyone take damage last?
I didn't.
I think killed them really quickly.
Yeah.
Yes, someone took damage, just not a party member. What?
Suspicious.
No one took damage.
Well, yes.
Yeah. They took
So something that doesn't kill someone outright is taking damage.
True. Okay, so we don't need to regroup. Do we want to? We've still got a couple of hours before sunset. We know we want to get out of here. We know we want to get out of here before sunset sets. So let's say we've got 30 minutes to an hour left to explore this area before heading back.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to not risk it and just head back, or do we want to explore down this way more? Do we want to check one of the doors in the corridor?
I think it was a 2-hour march on the way here, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we can go faster with flying things.
I suspect that the south door in this room will probably lead to whatever this hooded figure is. So we could just open the door and have a look through and see what we see.
I can do a perception check through the door to see if I can hear anything. Let's do that. Can I put my ear to the door and see if I hear anything?
Okay, give me a perception roll.
Just checking. Nope, I do have expertise in listening. So I get advantage plus expertise. Let's go with those two. And expertise is a D4. Glad I got advantage. 27.
Okay, so as you listen to the door, you do hear this deep voice whispering to you, "Welcome, my future minion."
That's not through the door, that's in my head, isn't it?
Well, you were listening at the door when you heard it.
Okay, I will tell them that. Either Orcus is it can't be in my head.
I know.
I have my ring of mind shielding, so it has to be verbal.
You know that?
Okay. So I tell them what I hear. I don't think, like, Orcus... I really doubt that Orcus is in the room next to me. I'm fairly sure I would have noticed that.
We are saying that pig's name.
Fuck. Oh, he's already aware of this. Can I make that? Can I redact that? Considering how brain dead I am today.
Well, you could say that Hildren's also a bit brain dead after having just heard the voice.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, she forgot.
And got reminded by Merc right afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, that pig is obviously... I doubt that pig is next door, though he's now listening to us. My bad. Sorry, guys. So, I mean, we could check it out. I haven't got any more information than we had before. What do we think? Corridor or this room?
I have nothing.
Yes, let's go
let's
through.
do it.
Go through this door?
And I can just beat it down.
You want to kick the door down?
No. I'm going to try it first.
Okay.
I'm standing at the door. I try to open the door.
Okay, the door pulls towards you.
Okay, do I hear any... with my passive perception, do I hear any clicks or anything that might indicate danger?
You hear an unfortunate squeal.
Okay.
Fortunate squeal.
An unfortunate squeal?
Mm-hmm.
I will
Is that...
keep opening the door.
No, I mean, not be unfortunate in the sense that the school is loud enough that it'll alert anyone around that might be there.
It might just be that it's somebody's squealing in pain. Like,
How can we determine how far away the squeal is?
Well, the squeal feels like it's on the other side of the door.
Is it the door making the noise?
I'm still opening the door.
And it squeals the entire way open.
The door does?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we see in the room?
Okay.
How big is the room?
Well, it is a rough, odd shape. Over to the side there, Premier, so hopefully easy for you to see. It has tapestries hanging up showing views of outside the dungeon.
Where are the tapestries?
On all the walls.
All the walls?
All the walls have a tapestry.
Are these tapestries animated or just paintings of the outside?
Do you go have a look? Because
something else in the
technically you can have no idea what it's really displaying until Dimitri comes in off the light, because with your
Well,
dark
I'd have to
vision,
come in.
Yeah.
I've got my... there's a light coming off my chest.
Yeah.
And I'm the one at
Okay,
the
well,
door.
that's on Seika.
Then Seika provides the light.
Dimitri, have a look.
Not Seika. Hildren.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so looking at them, there is one of a demon mouth which shows the stairway down here, and around the mouth a battle appears to be raging between a small army of human archers and a force of ogres led by 3 black-robed figures wearing helmets decorated with ram's horns.
And are they smaller?
They are smaller than ogres, yes.
Yeah.
And each carries a mace with a skull on the top.
Very nice fashion accessory.
Presumably, representation of the minions of that beast.
Does anyone have a close look?
Is there any, like,
Dimitri goes and has a look.
Dimitri goes and has a look.
at a glance, is that what, like, that's one tapestry?
Okay, so Dimitri gets to make a perception roll at this point.
Which wall was that first tapestry on?
Well, I'm waiting until he actually makes his roll, because passive perception would have worked, but he was so eager to have a closer look.
A vision-based perception or audio?
I'm going to go for audio.
Audio?
Mm.
Okay. 35.
Okay, as you go to look closely at one of the tapestries, your foot has no purchase. And you manage to just pick up that as you put your foot down, there was no sound.
I mean, at least he tends to walk down quietly all the time, but yeah. If he doesn't hear his own footfall, then he knows he's doing quite well, or something's going wrong. So, he will check the ground that he's about to be walking on, and if he wants the sound is muffled, or whether there's some sort of sound happening in the room.
It wasn't just the sound, you had no purchase. Like, it was like the floor wasn't there.
Well, and that's what it is, okay.
Yeah. So he was looking around the room when he had a cross. Okay.
When he went to go to one of the tapestries on the wall, he found that the floor is just not there.
So you didn't fall, because you got 35.
Yeah, that was that. No, he discovered the pit, so therefore others wouldn't have to fall into it.
Well, you can't see it there. There's just no actual contact with the floor.
Okay.
Could be hallucinatory terrain, could be a straight up illusion.
Could be a demon.
Yeah.
Could be a demon.
Maybe it's Orcus.
It's not a cool.
Count when you say it.
No, it cannot count when he says it, otherwise you'll say it all the damn time.
If I say it enough, the players will just keep saying it again.
Yeah. Psychology.
I proved that in one of the games where I got them all to worship one of the gods.
Does it look like the floor is there?
Yeah. The floor is apparently solid, except your foot goes through it.
Okay. Now, well, it's confusing. I mean, she doesn't bother carrying it stuff.
I mean, I have arrows that I never use. I can throw an arrow onto the floor and see what happens. Because I've got my magic arrow, so I don't actually need the 20 standard arrows I've got.
Good. Make sure to step out to where the floor is not there, and to try and work out exactly where the floor is and isn't.
Do I see his foot?
There's a minus edge.
Well, he's roughly pointed where the floor isn't.
Do I see his foot dip a little bit below the floor?
Well, not when he walks back.
No, when he walked forward.
Well, if you walk forward in front of everyone, then yes, you may have seen it with your passive perception.
Okay. Can I pull out one of the arrows that I never use and throw it just about 5 feet in front of the door?
Sure, you get to make a d20 roll. Because you can actually miss the ground.
I can miss the ground?
Yes, you can miss the square you're aiming for.
Well,
you're not proficient in it, you just get to add strength to the roll.
10.
You pay your lens by flying arrows.
Okay, so you barely managed to make the arrow fall on the square you were aiming for. It was close, you just hit the edge of it as you watch the arrow just slide into and disappear.
Alright, can I pull out another one?
Yep.
And throw it 10 feet?
Sure. Okay, you managed to get that closer to the wall, and it just doesn't land on anything and disappears.
Alright. How wide is the room?
Well, the room is roughly 40 by 30 with 2 extensions.
So it's 40 wide, 30 deep?
Oh, it all up on the screen there.
Yeah.
Up the page is not.
What's the X?
The X is that spot where the arrow disappeared.
Okay. So I've 10 feet away, no floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep, like, I just want to keep throwing arrows to see if we get any ground at all.
Okay. Give me another D20.
If anyone else has any ideas,
You still have that 10
Well, does anybody carry the classic 10-foot pole or
I
staff?
do have a 10-foot pole, so I can
or
wave it
a
around.
spear or anything like that. To just, you can probably
vision impaired person.
work out where the pitch is, where the gap is.
16.
So, where's your 10-foot pole? So, Martin,
I
where do you hide your 10-foot pole?
On my back.
So you're carrying something that is 10 feet tall on your back.
Just across my back.
So straight across your back. So you haven't been walking down any of the corridors with everyone, or it's snapped by now?
Can I just walk over and stick the glaive down, holding onto the end with like as much reach as possible on it, and see if I can feel the bottom?
Well, I can fold it up.
If it can be folded up, that is better. It's the fact that if you have a 10-foot wide pole, it is, and you're carrying it sideways, that's a large space you take up.
It is the classic problem of the old D&D. The old 10-foot pole was never something to really play around.
You managed to land it on another square, and it's just sitting on top of the square this time.
All right.
Which square?
Well, I'm assuming you are trying for the squares around you, so
Yeah.
we'll say that one.
I'm trying to see what's safe.
As I say, did someone tell you how to glaive?
Yes, you've taken your glaive and you've walked over to where they say the hole is.
Yeah, I just want to stick it down.
Okay, give me a... I'll give you an intelligence check.
Oh no, that's
So there is floor 5 feet in front of us.
Yep.
In the center, like...
Well, Dimitri presumably walked
10
into the
feet.
room and got to that exit point when he went to walk to one of the walls, look at the tapestry.
Mm-hmm.
He certainly got that far without any problem. Yes, Dimitri can fly, so you may be concerned, didn't they?
No, he didn't. He started to go into the room and...
No, he went into the room and got to that point where he found a
10.
problem. Yes, you managed to hear the scraping sound as you're dragging the blade against the side of the stone.
So we've got...
Like how far down do I get?
You can get the full handle length down if you bend down.
So we've got 20 feet of pathway in front of us that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then where did Dimitri foot dip?
On the square of the X.
On that one.
Yeah. I suggest you actually use your hold on to the blade end of the glaive and just wipe the stick in front of you along the ground, just around the rest of the room, just make sure there's no more gaps.
Does Dimitri not have Dispel Magic?
No, he doesn't like to spell magic very often.
I don't think he knows how to spell it.
And plus that would require Dimitri to cast a spell. Other than
why waste efforts like that when you can just go around with a stick and see where the floor is not?
So why did I not pick up Dispel Magic?
There we have rope.
And in fact,
I've got rope.
Hilton certainly knows that Dimitri has Dispel Magic because he dispelled the Druidess's magic, Drusilla's magic cloud that she got stuck in on top of the
that's
wall.
true. So why is Dimitri not dispelling magic?
Because there's no need to at this stage.
I have a way that might be the safest way to check all of the spots. So just
That's okay. All you gotta do is just
I mean, the arrows are useful.
yeah, but I feel like there's more
Yeah.
than 20 squares and you're
Yeah.
throwing two of them into the same square.
No. I've
Huh?
thrown 3. 2 went through the floor and 1 went on
In
land.
the same square.
In the same square, yes.
You
And
wanna
how
check
much
all the
does my
squares.
10-foot folding pole...
Well, once you fold it out, you're able to tap it around the rest of the room.
Yes. And how much does it weigh?
Okay, so let's see if I can get this to do it properly.
Yeah, I don't have anything like
Yeah,
that I can
that
just.
works. So yes, you find if you can see that bit there. Let me see if I can straight over the other side for you. Can you see that, Martin?
Yes.
Yep. You find the other 2 spots.
Okay.
So the floor in the 30 by 40 feet is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just those 3 spots.
It's just those 3 spots.
And whatever the corridors lead to.
And so, having instructed the party on how to look for the features code, the next goes through the middle of the room looking at all the tapestries.
So the demon mouth, the mouth of doom tapestries across the 3 crosses.
Yep.
What are the other tapestries?
The other tapestries are more faded and look as if the colour has left them. Whatever pattern it had just seems to be swirls and unremarkable. Mainly because they want you to focus on the other tapestry.
So you can walk up close to it and get a really close look.
How much time has passed? How long till sunset?
You're not sure. You're in a different part of the world.
So, like we've ended with about 30 minutes down it. So this will have only been like 5 minutes
Well,
of
with your
exploration.
explanations, you probably had about 5 minutes, yes.
So we're at about 35 minutes. Okay.
Let's just keep going.
So,
I want to go down
on
behind.
this Alan, you can put the hole across the gap there, so it's definitely the
Is the tapestry really big?
The gap definitely solid.
You want to throw a torch at it to see if it burns?
No,
Is that how
I
you
just.
tell?
Well, we have a 10-foot pole. Can we
That's
poke
right.
the tapestry?
We don't have a generic.
Oh, I can produce flame, but actually no, not today because today I'm weapons.
Walk in and just set everything on fire and leave.
Trellin, do you want to poke the tapestry with a stick to see if it's there?
Yes. Sure.
Okay, you successfully poked the tapestry. It feels poked.
That's fair enough for me.
Is there a wall behind it?
Well, it is a thick tapestry, hard to tell.
Do you want... Can I, with my 22 strength, can I move it?
Okay, so you should have plus 4 strength, not 22 strength with the belt you have. So if you had plus 22 strength, that would be quite strong.
No.
I said with the difference between the level up and the other one you have is that we're not actually using the same bonuses.
If you're thinking plus 22 or 22, what you need is plus 6.
But it's actually currently plus 4 because it's either increases his strength by 1 or it gives him a plus 4. That's what the Belt of Giant Strength does.
Okay.
So what's your normal strength?
10.
Without the belt.
Which
So
is
you've got plus 4.
And if you get a rarer belt, it will give you plus 5.
Alright, so
your normal
plus
strength
4.
is actually plus 0. Of 10.
Okay.
So you
But
can,
yeah, so
you can do an
so
athletics check to see if you
to
can...
make your reducing challenge, well, you kept those three the area directly on the tapestry all down the wall. You've confirmed that the areas above and below are clear and solid.
Okay, just gonna check to see if Martin can do what he was trying to do first. So give me an athletics check.
Not good.
So if you're trained in athletics, then it
12
would be plus 8. Then yes, you seem to find something solid right behind it, or at least where you poked.
Solid, like wall.
Well, he can't see it, so he can't confirm that. You can either confirm or deny there's a wall behind there, but there's something solid.
Can I? Well, no. What? But after we do whatever Dimitri suggested, I was going to say, can I do a religion check to see if I recognize the symbology?
Yes.
With my focus on that pig.
Yep.
And fiends as my threat identification and my deep understanding of... I think I get my deep understanding of this stuff because I'm obsessed. And a hunter is going to find as much information as possible. I have expertise. 20 plus... my argument is religion is wisdom because I'm instinctual rather than studied.
So you don't get law knowledge, you get more interaction knowledge.
Okay, so 20 plus 4, so 24 plus 7 is 31.
So from your instinctive understanding, you believe the symbology of skulls is Orcus.
Or that big.
GM's always going to use the real name as many times as possible.
So,
Yeah.
Merc comes into the room.
Merc should already be in the room.
Merc's in the room. What is the tapestry hanging off?
You can't see. It may actually be hanging off the wall behind it. Dimitri's going to...
Basically, in the middle of, like, on the edge of the actors, like on the middle of the middle, he's going to kneel down on the floor and then carefully tap forward with his hand until he can put his arm into the floor up to at the elbow to have a look inside.
So you look through your arm?
It's pretty good advice, but you should have still like it a bit.
So the robe of eyes has it on the arm, which makes it handy for you. As you stick your arm, into the through the ground, does your robe of eyes have dark vision?
It does. So that's 100%.
Okay, having a look inside, you see that there is a 10-foot drop with spikes down there. Then what looks to be a skeleton. Partly obscured because it's darkness. It's as if you're seeing in dim light.
10 foot down.
I'm really not doing great today. I can't spell spikes.
And they do have a backpack.
That's one of the ones that I wrote down first.
To make sure to let people know while he's they're just getting his arm down through the floor. It looks like someone didn't manage to step back quickly enough.
Do the walls look like I
He wants to go check. 10 foot down. I wouldn't jump.
Spider
But if you climb down carefully, you're fine.
We've got two people talking at that point. So Jeremy was... what was Jeremy saying?
He was telling us...
Basically, Dimitri's saying, walk down there and saying, hey, I wouldn't jump in, but someone did. But if you climb down carefully, you're fine. Lost the crack at the bottom. But maybe if you're interested in the map that belongs to the person who jumped in first.
Okay, so Dimitri's giving you some information. Did you want to try to go down?
I would like to know if I try to climb on the wall, will I just slide down into the spikes?
Is it vertical?
I can
Well,
climb
considering
on,
you haven't stuck your head through, you're not sure.
I can climb on pretty much. I can climb on roofs,
Yeah.
like upside down.
Okay, so
Can run
Jeremy,
on walls,
did
he
you
can
want
actually
to make
stick to
a wisdom saving throw?
Oh man.
Was that me, son?
Yes, that was you, Jeremy.
Looks like found a discolored skin.
Wisdom. Well, 23.
Okay, yeah, nothing to worry about here.
He does suggest that, Hilton, you might want to pop your pack, what do you put the light on to?
The amulet.
You might want to
I
keep
need
your
this
hands
back.
through there so you can see.
It is important to me.
Which one is it?
It's my wolf tooth pendant.
Yeah. Not your charm, though.
No.
Okay.
I'm not taking a magic item from you, am I?
No. It was my holy symbol. Well, like when I was level 3.
Her baby
And
holy
the
symbol.
is not suggesting you let go, you just hold on to it and put it down to the floor.
My holy symbol is now either my scimitar or inscribed in my back.
I will take the headlamp and climb down.
Okay. Yes, climbing down with your light, you can see that there is a skeleton who has been hit by many black arrows. And his leather armor is holy. It's got 3 big holes in it, besides where the arms and legs go in the body. And he does have a backpack.
Is there any identification marks on the armor? Like if he was...
There is no identification on the armor.
Okay, well I will attempt to take the backpack.
You have no problem picking up the
Leather.
backpack.
Okay.
He doesn't find for it.
But he does have a pair of extremely fashionable boots.
I will take those.
Okay, you now have extremely fashionable boots.
Yes. Those are the best kind.
Good for dancing.
Well, they have really big points on the end.
Ah, it's like the Mexican shoes.
I'm as fashionable as I'm as good as a very fashionable hat.
Okay.
Well,
Could I
in one of
also-
the settings, I do have an undescribable hat. It's listed as undescribable hat.
That's
And someone asked me to describe it, so I said, I'm sorry, but it's undescribable.
That's how good it is. Can't even describe it.
But I also grabbed some of the arrows.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Give me a constitution saving throw.
Yes. This is what I was expecting to happen. Am I looking at the last? I only need this one. Was it a saving throw?
It is a saving throw.
It's the best kind. Because I'm bad.
Apparently you skittled.
I got 15.
You got 15. Okay, so
that
yes, you have no
include you?
problem picking up the
Yes.
arrow,
Oh
My
god.
dice don't like me.
but you don't have a ability to let go of the arrow. As you notice that you and the arrow seem to be one now.
Have you returned upstairs?
Very good.
Well, I would suspect I'm currently hanging on by one hand, so I might have trouble climbing up. I will climb back up.
Okay, give
What?
me a will saving throw.
Well, no, you can walk on the wall.
I don't have boots or spider climb. I'm using my hands or
Okay.
I have sticky mucus that my body excretes that I can use.
Okay.
It doesn't
If it's only
specify that I
5
have
foot
my
down.
hands.
10 foot.
10.
It's 10 foot down and spikes, and this guy died from it, so...
Do you suspect he died from the arrow
Arrows,
you
not
just
the fall.
touched one of?
Yeah. Let's get this. Good start, 18. And then it was will,
Wisdom.
19.
Okay, yeah, you don't seem to be able to get out of the hole.
Ah,
There's this solid surface.
I knew
How
we
long
should
has
have
this
attached
been?
the rope to me.
How long has this been?
Oh, not that long. He just went down, grabbed a bag, grabbed a arrow, and then tried to climb his way out.
No, it's not long enough for me to notice or think there's anything wrong. Unless, somebody makes a sound.
It's all waiting for.
You don't hear a thing.
We don't hear anything.
When Dimitri had a look at his arm,
Yeah.
confirming that the pit was 30 foot by 10 foot,
It was
going further north and south.
it was 30 foot by
In
10
which
foot.
case, in which case then Dimitri's going to line up and aim to get over to the north end of the pit, just so to have a look into that, the having the wall, stuff like that at the northern end in that dead end area.
Okay, so you climb into the northern area and start examining the walls. Give me an investigation roll.
So, Mark, how you doing?
Not bad. I think that guy that was there was dead.
I mean, we've known him for less than a day.
You got a
Come on.
30? Okay, so you have a good check of the walls and you don't actually see anything relevant there.
I don't think we've been through a day yet.
Okay.
We dropped off that evening.
I mean, I tend
Yeah,
to
we'll
have
get back over to the prize and we'll get another one. No one else has yet.
being Priscilla's other children.
Okay, just trying to look at the other things I can add in there to make things easier for
How
you.
tall are you?
I think I said he's about 8 feet tall.
How far up the wall are you?
It's a
Probably
10 foot.
about 2 feet up from the spikes.
Because that would be 10
Yeah,
Because I can,
You can jump that high.
I can reach
I
down.
probably could have just grabbed the bag just by hanging from my feet off the edge.
But, like, I can throw a rope down, but
Yeah,
we don't know there's something wrong.
The problem is I'm also currently on one hand, assuming that I can't use the other one to climb.
This is the thing. I've got lots of solutions. We don't know that there's anything wrong.
Okay.
We're sitting and chatting while Dimitri's gone off to investigate something again.
And I'm trying to think of a way where I can probably break what's above me without stabbing myself on the spikes. And the only thing I'm thinking of is increasing my size right now, which is going to put me on the spikes.
I mean, could you
You can
try and poke
You're already
through
standing
the
around.
glaive?
He needs his hand.
I'm currently only really being held on by one hand. I
Well,
have 3 points of
surely-
contact, and I don't feel like changing that.
Surely you could step on the floor where there isn't a spike. You can see.
Specified that there's only 3 holes in the I could probably stand on the body.
Yes, you could.
You can stand on lots of different things.
Like, you're not gonna... Standing on the
Not
floor
on
isn't gonna...
business. He just does not stand on business.
So you could stand on something and poke up with a glaive.
Mm.
What am I saying? I don't know that there's anything wrong.
I was going to say, if you, I could use one of my maneuvers to pull one of you over here. But you
Well, you
hear
can't
me.
because you can't see them.
Yeah,
You
I
can
can't see
only
them and
target
they
something
can't
you
hear
can
me.
see. As they found out in another game.
Mmm.
Right.
Freaking stone snake.
Okay, so you haven't heard from him in a little while. Jeremy has not actually found anything specific.
Just for flavour, while we've been sitting in the room chatting, I've been making like flowers come out of nowhere in my hands and just,
Just been looking around.
place needs a little bit of livening up.
Like,
You know what's the funniest thing? I have vine grass. I could just use that to grab the backpack.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a while.
maybe one of us should stick our heads down. Have a look. Otherwise, if we think it's dangerous, I can cast my little friend, who I can see through his eyes. What was it
We
called?
do have a 10-foot pole. Like,
Maybe if we just
Okay.
put it down and
I'm gonna poke my head through. If I seem to disappear, grab my ankles.
Yeah.
Well, before you-
yes,
Well,
I
if
will.
I seem to disappear, grab my ankles.
before you do
Yes.
that, how about I get my rope tied around you, and a couple of us will hold on the other end.
That makes sense.
In case
What
you
we
fall.
should have done with Sears.
So I poke my head down.
After we tie the rope around her.
Yep.
I'll keep hold of it.
Me too.
Oh no, there's a red dot on the map.
I was basically trying to show where the party is and trying to do an actual thing to make it easier to keep track of where you've gotten to. Okay, so you stick your head down. Yep, you can see Cetus sort of looking a bit distressed with one hand stuck to some sort of arrow.
What's going on?
How are you doing, mate?
Can I reach down and grab
You're
it?
2 feet from the thing. If you put your arms up, you can grab the ledge.
If I stick my arm up,
You're now pushing up against the ceiling of the room.
So
I'm
is
not
he
this good
actually?
at miming.
Is he-
You can see him putting his hand up against the solid wall.
If I climb over to where she's sticking her head through, can I climb up?
Okay, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Can I touch him?
You're about to lose your head.
Well, he was doing something first.
You're gonna lose your head. 13.
You hit your head on the ceiling.
Okay, can I
And what
touch
about
him?
Yildren's head?
I'm sure you can touch him.
I can touch him.
Yeah.
I cast guidance, the cantrip,
Mm-hmm.
and say, try again.
I rolled a 19 the first time. I'm not gonna roll any higher than that. If it's a wisdom save to get out of here, I'm stuck down here. There's only 2 numbers that go higher than that, and I feel like if I roll lower than a 10, I'm not coming out.
Guidance.
Okay.
I believe guidance gives him a inspiration dice,
It gives him an expertise die.
expertise dice. Yeah, so you get to add a D4 to your roll,
Where am I? Fight against rope.
which is the
How do you
benefit
break
of
the
that.
floor, but I don't think that you can do anything.
Then I'm going to have Hildren make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, whiz.
Can I do something before she does that, or too late?
Well, this is not an interaction with people roll. This is a roll for the character.
Yeah.
Because the question would be,
That,
what are you interrupting?
oh, I forgot. I gotta remember the stone of good luck. That free expertise dice I get,
Mhm.
do I have to choose before or after I make the roll?
You can choose after.
But before you give me the consequence?
Yes.
14 plus 7 if I don't get proficiency on it. So 21.
Are you happy with that? You may have succeeded and you may not have succeeded. I won't tell you until you decide whether you're using your extra roll.
22.
So, you're not sure what's wrong with him?
But you can pull your head out.
Yeah, I pull my head out.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to think the floor's there. He touched it.
You can actually see him
Dimitri!
hanging off it.
But he...
He can literally hang off
So
the ceiling.
you can...
So if he
You're
can hang,
fine to get out of it.
Yep.
So
I
if
rolled
he-
over 20.
If he can hang off the ceiling, that means it's a one-way
Yeah.
thing.
I cast guidance anyway, so you have an
So
expertise on something.
But you did get out because perhaps part of your body was
D4.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Dimitri, we might need you over here. As much as I hate saying that.
Dispel magic.
Cetus seems to be stuck by an
The spell
illusion.
idiot. The spell idiot.
He seems to think the floor is real to the point that he could touch it.
The floor is real.
You guys.
You mean,
This good at miming.
he seems to fail to disbelieve the illusion after he went through it.
Yes.
23 is really good.
Okay. Your hand detaches from the ceiling because it's no longer there. Luckily, you're not holding yourself up by that hand.
Can I...
And you climb out of the pit.
Right.
That's good because I also have things to do with falling.
But hey, you did sort of wave your hand around a little bit as I went through.
Cetus, what the hell?
It seems that if you believe the floor is real, the floor is real.
Can he roll an insight check for that?
You can if you
He's
like.
not an idiot. He has a positive stat.
But insight is not the skill you use
No.
to disbelieve illusions.
I mean, like, for him to figure out that. Okay. So
And neither is perception. It's always investigation.
it is. So anybody who goes down in there can somehow be tricked into believing that the floor is actually real, and then the floor becomes real. Fun.
What am I rolling?
No, it's fine.
I
It
dunno.
was a joke.
I
So
probably got
what
11.
did we get?
What's in the backpack?
This, and I hand her the arrow.
No, I'm not taking the arrow. It's stuck on your hand. It's a black
Well,
arrow.
I can't
You
take
can
the
actually see
backpack off
bits
without
of
must
spikes
take the
sticking
arrow.
out his hand.
Sorry?
You can see bits of spikes sticking through from the arrow through the other side of his hand.
Spikes that aren't normally there.
Yes.
I don't have detect magic or identify or anything.
I can identify this hurts.
Does it?
Dimitri, has he got an arrow through his hand?
No,
No.
his hand is around the shaft of an arrow, but you can see barbs have stuck out from the arrow through his hand that's wrapped around the arrow.
The booby traps.
Right.
Okay.
And the spikes are all barbed.
His hand is stuck through the arrow.
Well, the arrow is...
Yeah.
The shaft is through there, and there are barbs through all his fingers and
Yeah.
hand.
And I
have an
don't
idea,
have
but
remove
I
curse.
don't know if it will work.
You might want to let that go.
Why don't you take it from me, Dimitri?
Open your hand, Cetus.
Open your hand.
His fingers are all stuck to it.
Okay.
Oh, but this one.
Just checking. I don't think I have remove curse.
I definitely don't.
I mean, if you've taken damage, I can heal you. I cannot remove a
I
curse.
think I have.
Well, you can technically heal that in place.
I could.
The only idea I have is to just do my claw thing and have, like, snap the arrow in half.
I'm not touching that. Dimitri. I don't have anything to figure out what that arrow is.
It's okay, I don't need two hands to fight, we're all good.
Yes, you totally don't use a two-handed weapon.
That wasn't a sarcastic statement, I don't need my weapon to fight.
I know. I helped you build your character.
I'm just better with it. As in, I can't use my furious criticals unless I use the weapon. But
So-
there's
Yeah.
also a backpack that I'm assuming is probably looked over my other arm.
Well, doesn't matter whichever one. And it seems to have the emblem of Castle Killian on it.
Do we know what that is?
Well, that's the name of the keep where you have taken residence.
Castle Colleen.
Killian, yes.
K.
Calaeelen.
C-A-L-A-E.
Didn't we find like journals of
Yeah.
somebody who said they're gonna go explore here?
Yes.
And they lost lots of people here. Apparently, you found one they lost.
Okay. You guys figure out
We
the
have just
arrow.
lost.
You guys figure out the arrow. I'm looking in the backpack.
Yes, we currently don't have a Dimitri. I believe he had to duck off.
So a ring of mind shooting worked.
Can I,
Can't hear Dimitri anymore.
No, he's back.
Dang
can
it.
I cast Identify on the arrow?
You can.
It's a
Okay,
ritual,
so
it's going to take 10 minutes.
Do we have 10 minutes? I like to do.
At this point, I think we're like 45, 50 minutes into the
What's
I
the
think
time limit
I
on
think we've got
the
another
thing?
15 odd minutes.
hour and a half is what I was giving us. Are we about 55 minutes in?
So I got 15 for 15, so I don't know if it's going to be important,
Identify
but
casting.
Dimitri's going to go across and check the other corridor, the other short corridor, see what he can find around there.
Dimitri, we have an arrow in the hand. Can you deal with that? I have nothing that will help him.
I withdraw my comment around identify.
Well, no, there's no reason why you can't. You can, cast Identify.
Yeah,
You can even spend an hour doing it if you wish to get the better roll.
Well, I've got there that it takes a minute to cast, but it's by touch. So I have reconsidered my thoughts.
Do you have to touch the arrow or Cetus?
The arrow.
And also you've got to choose which level you're casting it at.
Mm.
So it's the first level spell to identify a common item.
While we're figuring this out,
And
I'm
then
checking the backpack.
You add 2 levels to the spell to identify a rare item. So each level you go up by 2 is a different level of rarity.
Can't
I'm
remember
fairly
what.
sure
So you
I
can't
updated-
identify artifacts
Did you
from
reprint
a
your
first
spells
level
today?
I
spell.
didn't have time.
No, that's cool. I updated them.
Because
but yeah.
technically
Yeah,
you've got to
thank you.
cast it at 11th level ritual to actually identify an artifact.
Can I search the backpack while they're figuring out?
You can. It has a bunch of spikes that are made out of iron.
Useful?
Very good for dealing with Fae.
Yep. Luckily, I am not Morrigan.
A
Would
hooded
Would that,
lantern.
oh, would that be hurting him?
Well, it would if you embed them into him, but you could hurt any character if you embed them in them.
So not,
Hey, look, this is going to help you.
not just being that close to iron isn't going to hurt him.
No. Also in there is a hooded lantern that apparently didn't break in the fall. Because most hooded lanterns don't actually have glass. They
How
just
many
got a hole.
spikes have we got?
5 spikes.
And a hooded lantern? Anything
Yep.
else?
A pint of oil in a wooden container. All the best for burning it with.
Yep.
50 feet of hemp rope. Because, hey, you can oil that up and light that up pretty well too. A belt pouch with 200 gold in it. And you can also see the extremely fashionable leather boots that Cetus had pulled out as well.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to ignore those.
Very pointy toes.
Not my style. I tell the group, we've got 200 gold to go to the party funds.
Nice.
We've got rope, oil, a hooded lantern, and iron spikes.
So depending upon exactly when Hildren mentioned that you are member and they think that his dog's coming in, because before enough Dimitri had gone over to the end of the other short corridor.
It was after Dimitri had investigated the other other short corridor.
So the north...
Certainly Dimitri's going to look at that, finish his investigation before he bothers to step back over to investigate. And
Yes, so you've looked at the one that's just like 10 feet by 10 feet.
He's looked at
yeah,
the
the
one.
northern one, and I looked at the southern one.
So, yeah, the conversation would have been between you looking at the northern one and the southern one.
So as you're on your way, you're sort of distracted by, hey, look what Cetus did.
I'm fairly sure I don't have anything for it. Dimitri, what you got?
Dimitri will have a look, and so it looks like spikes have come out of the shaft of the arrow and the fletching, but not necessarily the blade or the point.
Come out. It has come out of the shaft.
But it's not bleeding.
Yeah.
Was it actually painful? Or did it just stick?
I mean, you didn't tell me I took damage from it.
It didn't hurt going through, but it will hurt coming out.
I mean, I can heal you if you rip it out.
So what about if we just take a dagger, slide it between his hand and the shaft, let's give it a pop. the worst that can happen?
You cut
If
my
we just
fingers
rip
off,
it
I
out.
cut your hand off.
He's a big boy. If we rip it out, I'll heal him.
You can't do anything with one hand. You can't cut my hand off with one hand.
You witnessed
Dimitri
do the
will
slides.
carefully touching the point of the arrow, like not the actual, not sticking his hand onto the point, but basically shooting, and it's got actually a head.
It does have a head, and from looking at things, it does remind you of the blackwood shafts you have encountered before.
Yep.
They usually do badly because they can basically, from what you can see, they can grow into flesh. So basically, they embed in flesh, so they can't be pulled out.
Yep.
Those sound like fun.
So are they actually a magical item, like first item, or is it a effect of the blackwood?
It's an effect of the magical black wood. It's designed to be almost impossible to pull out.
Yeah. So does Dimitri will use his spell study type A object, basically by touching the head of the arrow to allow him to confirm that he's magical, and that while holding it, I can cast Identify as an action without using a spell slot, and to confirm exactly what we're looking at in the sense of we're talking a magical cursed arrow that doesn't have any other particular fire boxes to be identified, is that right?
Well, you can tell it is magical.
Yeah.
And that it's designed to stop the person from healing while it's inside them. It's normally used against trolls.
Yep. Is it a curse that we will curse the appropriate for, or is it the idea of tearing out and then think the damage afterwards?
It is not cursed. It is literally just basically something that, because it is embedded in the body, basically makes them unable to heal.
Yeah, so it's a magical effect of particularly hard elements affect up here. So, he says, let's go. You know,
Most don't have
you know what? You shouldn't have picked this up, but
If we can get it out without break.
Rip it out and
If we can get it out without breaking it, it would be really useful to have in somebody's quiver if we can actually use them without.
Touch it.
The method of extraction is normally burning it.
Is there any? No, we have torches.
So Dimitri will do
We have a wizard with flame bolt.
pyromancy, isn't it?
Minor
Yeah,
pyromancy.
we'll go with a minor pyromancy, so you can set them in a light.
Okay. Roll for me a d12.
D12. 12.
Okay, you deliver 12 points of damage as the arrow combusts.
But me,
Do you?
Be careful with picking up next time.
Do I
And
need
the arrow
to heal
turns
you?
to dust.
Do you actually tell the rest of the party or all of the donut?
about 10.
There were 3. You used 1.
There's 2 more down there.
Not worth it.
Dimitri, is there a way of picking them up and using them without that happening?
Wearing gloves.
I mean, I'm wearing gloves, but
Cetus isn't.
They just allow extra option. It's designed to buy into the place, so it's not touched by the
yeah, but
you probably could buy it.
but
And Cetus has no gloves.
he did
He tried
Did he
wearing
tell
gloves,
us-
They just ripped.
Did he tell us that they used for killing trolls?
I believe he did because it's Dimitri. He would
He tells everything.
Dimitri explain everyone exactly.
Absolutely everything they know. Possibly taking them back or coming using them.
Okay.
How effective they've been against the various battles in the wars.
So, but Dimitri, they're useful against trolls. This would be a very useful thing to learn about.
Definitely used by the Trolldaren against vampires.
Actually, it's
And werewolves.
Seika who has multiple pairs of gloves. Dimitri, is there a way of using them without stabbing yourself?
Yeah, that's a tough fish. Wait on.
You have a mage hand. Could you send your mage hand down to pick them up and put them in this?
Well, I don't like that to Martin in the sense that looking at the 15th level up mage hand, it doesn't appear to have the limitation of not inflicting items anymore.
Mage hand is not the poor man's detect magic anymore.
Yeah, that's right. So
It used to be the poor man's detect magic because you couldn't pick up magical items.
I would really love to have some of those arrows, if you wouldn't mind, Dimitri.
Dimitri will stick his hands down through the floor there and use my hand to try and pick up the arrows.
Okay, so how do you use mage hand to pick it up?
Well, let's say he's got the
What are you looking for?
You can stick your hand down and you can see,
Spell where I can summon
yeah.
but line of sight doesn't pass through the illusion.
a ritual or just
Yeah, it's a
spell?
ritual.
Oh, well, it takes too long.
Okay.
I might be missing a page. I'll look for it on
So either I've got line of sight on the other side.
You either have line of sight on on the other side to cast mage hand from, but that line of sight doesn't extend to outside the illusion, even though you can see the other side of it.
Okay, right. So if I take my see both sides of the illusion at the same time, I can't actually put the mage hand through the illusion.
Because
Yep.
mage hand does not pass
it's a ritual.
through
Yep,
solid
I do
objects.
that. Yep, no, I put that. The mage hand definitely gets full. It's got a one more code.
Okay,
So give
mage
me a
hand won't
wisdom
work.
saving throw while you're doing it.
Even better than lifetime. 17 plus was 12, I think so. 29.
Okay, so no, you don't get stuck in the illusion again.
It wasn't him who got stuck in the illusion. Okay, I'm going to note that these arrows are here.
Then you can't just magic them out because you can't break line of sight.
Okay, so I'm going to note that there's 2 blackwood arrows here that would be useful. And I'm assuming we don't want to waste more time here.
We're short on time. It will be dark soon. The fog is coming. If it's not dark already, if time progresses as we hope.
So at this point would be about an hour.
Can I buy that hat you found?
What?
I take the
The pack that you brought up.
Yeah.
Then you'll grab it and put the pack down through the floor, and then use mage hand to drop the arrows in the pack, and then use mage hand to bring it up to his arms, where he can then pull up through himself.
Then he gets to make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I don't think that.
There's always a chance he can make a mistake.
21.
No.
Okay, he pulls out the pack with the arrows in it.
Alright. Thank you.
Almost didn't.
Would they be safe to put in Martin's bag of holding?
You have no idea.
Yes. Okay.
Well, I bet you keep these precious things in there.
I mean, I'm happy to just put them in my quiver. I
can
have
do
a
that
quiver.
too.
Would you like, if you just put them in my quiver?
Oh,
You can hand you the pack, so yeah, you want the arrows, they're there for you.
So yeah, you're
Okay.
not
Don't be
Straining
Dimitri, you actually
strength.
well. But these guys, you have to just pass the pack over.
Okay, can I get, like... I'm in leather armor. Can I get, like, an edge of my cloak? And put the arrows...
I'm assuming your leather armor probably comes with leather gloves.
Okay, if I've got gloves on.
Most armor comes with gloves and boots as a basic thing.
Okay, so I can pick up the arrows and put them in my
And
quiver.
potentially even a leather helmet of the leather cap.
very
Yeah.
stylish.
No, I don't wear those. I have big arguments with my husband on Stardew Valley because he gets all these hats, and I'm like, I don't wear hats. I don't need to wear hats. Why do I need to wear hats?
You don't wear the trash can hat?
No.
Will you wear wigs?
I don't wear hats in real life unless I'm at school because I have
wear
to
wigs?
show model good behaviour. So
So
I now have two.
I like that. Looks good.
It's a good hat.
Yeah.
Well, I'm partially bald, so with that whole thing considered bald in most light. Even though there's lots of hair there.
How's how's Merc feeling?
Solid.
Good. Yeah. Good.
You're not imagining yourself.
No, I like to have pecs. The second
Having handed over the pack, Dimitri will get back what he's doing and take a look at the southern area below the pit.
I'll join Dimitri in that.
An investigation check for Dimitri and Hildren.
I really need to train investigation for Hildren. Not bad. 16.
27.
Okay, so.
It's not bad for Hildren with investigation.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. It would be nice if these things actually worked the way it's supposed to work. Okay. What are you looking for?
D4, another D6.
A dice that doesn't hate him.
Okay, you do find a secret door.
We find a secret door.
You do. Now I'll have to expand the map.
Is it about just past an hour at this point?
It is roughly about an hour as you manage to find the mechanism to open the door.
I say we check this room and then call it a day.
Let's do it.
Dimitri?
Dimitri will get a cut on the door slash the mechanism.
Okay, so yes, give me a perception roll as you're looking for a trap.
Hey,
Isn't it
a pretty good perception
investigation?
roll of
Looking for a trap.
41 upgraded.
Okay, so yes, you can actually
So on
see
20 and 6 on 150.
you can actually see that the mechanism is a illusion of a blade right next to the actual hidden mechanism that appears to be a stone wall. So you pull the blade and slash your fingers. Or you use the illusionary one. And you can now actually see through the floor beside you. Because you now have the illusion of where the floor is, but you can actually see that it is transparent.
Okay,
Can we all see that now?
No, only the person who makes the check.
Yeah.
No, okay, so it
did
wasn't a...
Hildren find the mechanism?
What was
No,
Hildren's
I rolled a
investigation?
16.
You didn't?
No, you can see the original one he pointed out, not the new one he points out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the roguish one.
Don't pull the blade. I would suggest recommending you go to the blade and pull it.
I will believe you. This place has illusions. That pig is a bit of a deceiver. Happy to follow your lead.
And everyone hears, give it time, minion.
Very well, open the door and activate the non-blade like mechanism. I won't go non-illusional light since they both be the illusions, so...
Come on, give me the... Okay, there we go.
So we open up into like an S-shaped corridor.
More hallways.
More ways. More ways to get lost.
Considering it's been an hour, do we want to try and follow this hallway, hit one of the rooms on our way back, or just go?
I think it's time to go.
I think it's boring around here.
Well, we want to get out of here before the fog
We
appears.
want to be out of here before sundown. We've got maybe half an hour, and that's on the hope that nothing goes wrong on our way back.
The teleportation circle.
Considering how long considering what we've already spent on here in the time we've got available, it would be quite apparent that at some stage we're going to have to stay here overnight. It is too big a place roughly for a single day.
Yes, but we agreed when we came down we were just going to explore for about an hour and a half, 2 hours max, and then fly back to the keep.
We still need somewhere
Why?
to combat the fatigue.
If we find a safe place down here,
It's Rapanathak, there is going to be no safe place down here.
well, first give it the condition of the steps.
Okay, let's be democratic about this. Hands up if you would like to continue exploring and stay here the night.
Yes.
Does Dimitri put his hand
says
up?
yes.
Obviously.
So yes, it
Why
is
do I be
3 to 2.
Oh, Merc says these idiots.
I don't know. I misunderstood the vote. I don't know. Yeah,
Would you like to vote on that too?
I don't need to vote on it. It's okay.
So did Cetus mean to vote to leave or stay?
Sean, the player, misunderstood what we were voting for.
Apparently so did Cetus.
My hand hurts. I wasn't paying attention. It's all on this side.
One side wants to stay, one side wants to go. Does that count as a half?
I feel like that will just even out the votes.
Okay, Cetus, do you have any... I know you don't know that much.
Should we take some damage?
I have. Let's go.
Well, that's been solved. So let's just keep going.
How's
And how many are currently in your body?
how is our energy?
Well,
levels?
I have a cloak of displacement, so
It's hitting evening. We could probably be fine.
If
We
the,
do-
if the time is moving the same pace.
We do have Tiny Hut, and if we rest the night here, we could find out about the draining rumour we heard.
Or we could all huddle in Tiny Hut and get a long rest. And
But
maybe do
we've
something.
only just got our people here. This is our first incursion of many.
well,
We're also assuming that time doesn't move differently in here.
Yes.
We've been down here 10 days already.
Yes.
And drained and fatigued and...
So has anyone felt this drain or fatigue?
It's
I got
supposed to
stuck in a
happen
hole.
each day you stay here.
Then let's not sleep.
No, each day,
See,
not
solve all the
between
problems.
long rests.
Well, either way, we just keep going.
That's everything.
I really don't want to. It's stupid. It's so stupid.
We did take a vote.
We did take a vote, and even though Cetus didn't mean to vote that way, he's voted that way.
That's right.
Okay, we have precautions. You have tiny hut.
Yep.
You have guards of warning.
Yep.
We can do stuff.
Need be, we can.
That's right.
Okay, where are we going, Dimitri?
Well,
Let's look down and see what we can see.
Yep.
if I look the same in both directions, is there evidence of traffic or like any dust or moisture in regions?
Well, one thing you noticed once you've gotten everyone into the room, there doesn't seem to be a mechanism to open the door the other way.
Is the door still open?
Not now.
We should have went.
Dimitri!
Just push on.
Hang on. You have teleportation circle, and you
guys
memorize the one to the keep. As long as it doesn't play, as long as Rapanathak doesn't play with teleportation, which it might.
Which you know it does.
Yes, we do know it does. Damn it!
But perhaps we will teleport somewhere outside.
And you get a thank you in response.
What did you say?
I'm not saying it again. Things that are not actually swear words that apparently relate to the gods that I need to learn not to say.
Well, if you damn it, then you're calling upon the gods. Literally.
The passage off to the west.
Mm-hmm.
Dimitri's got 120 foot dark side.
Yep.
Dark vision. Aside from the top one. Is it actually end there, or is it doing something different?
I did forget to put in the extra line, so just...
Okay. Alright, it's okay, so it's turning towards the south, but able to at the moment.
I have my explorer's chalk, don't I?
Yeah.
I've got
You do have explorer's
120-foot dark vision, so...
Yeah, that's right. And it's more the case of thinking, well, does that actually continue or turn? But yeah. Dimitri will suggest we head off to the west.
Before we do that...
West is as good as any other direction.
Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
Can I break the wall?
Well, not yet.
Try the door first.
Give me a minute.
I would like to break Dimitri.
No, I'm with Dimitri. Let's just push on.
Okay, no, I am...
Until
Push
we
Dimitri
break.
into the wall.
I am using one of my one of my charges of my explorer's chalk to mark the secret door.
Couldn't you just use chalk?
This means it can't be wiped away or anything.
Okay.
There's a reason I have explorer's chalk.
This is... So I've got 2 sets of normal chalk.
I have slime.
And obviously, Hildred and the rest of the party would realise they should be blaming Dimitri for the door closing.
Oh, why am I not blaming Dimitri?
Should have kept it open.
Who would have?
Last person through, he says.
That wasn't me.
Could have been me. Likely me.
Now, just giving you some map markers so when you look at it, you can actually refer to things.
Excellent.
Oh, you've got the door marker. Okay, good, yeah.
Well, I got you for up and numbers for rooms.
Yeah, okay. I just realised that what sort of word do you find to be more use for all the numbers?
So, explorer's chalk means the mark cannot be wiped away or obscured for 24 hours. I can use...
That's fine, Mark. No, they're fine. Because that's just something you realise, oh, hang on, yes, that's not what markers are. So,
I can use an action to...
No, it's just basically so it's easier for the people here to look at as well.
Absolutely. So
It
yeah,
looks the same to me, but
Dimitri will head up northwest.
I can use an action to become aware of the direction of the closest mark made with it, as long as that mark is within 1 mile.
Cool.
So that's why I got Explorer's Chalk.
How do you get that?
Ask Martin.
It's a magical item.
It's a magical item.
Okay.
It was going to be one of my charms, but we couldn't figure out how to make it a charm, so he just gave it to me.
Right.
Okay, so it's up on the bigger screen, so it's easy for you guys to look at now.
So yes, we now have something that guides us back here if we need to.
So I'll just follow Dimitri to the west.
Yep.
Okay. Or you can just remember it.
I am
Then
very
you can
good
see
at mapping
The mark on the wall now glows faintly.
and cannot be obscured. Dimitri, I am very good at mapping, but we're in a place that uses a lot of illusions. This means that it cannot be obscured for 24 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
we're heading west.
Dimitri will head off down the west, down towards the west.
Can't be obscured, but can it be moved?
If Callum wants to go in front, that's certainly fine by him.
In the labyrinth, he draws the arrows, but then the tail gets flipped around, so it points the other way.
Don't give Martin ideas.
We'll find out.
We'll find
You
out.
you did not.
He's
think of
working
this.
pretty rigorously on the map. So
Good.
And yeah, as like I've got in my head, I'm tracking the map. Remembering I'm very good at tracking direction and stuff.
Okay. Handshaking don't go too well.
So is Dimitri leading the way?
I'm sure Dimitri always leads the way.
The south, to the west side, I should say.
So the tanks are towards the backup party.
I'm happy if he's happy to be the front.
no, I prefer to be at the near the back.
So we have the squishy wizard at the front.
No, well he can
As he
just
should be.
run super fast.
We have the squishy wizard at the front. And the
Because
tanks at the
he's-
back, including one who's mumbling about idiot wizards.
Because he's got rogue abilities.
I sort of stay in the center. Protection.
He's
on each
only
side.
level 3 rogue. That's not that great.
But it gives
That's more rogue
gives-
than you are.
Well, not on Monday night.
It gives the access to
I couldn't
the
multi-class 3 ways.
expertise,
Yeah.
which is double.
Yeah, you should be able to multi-class
I'm
12
still
ways.
not sure.
What?
Be all the
What
classes.
is expertise?
Besides,
That's absurd.
it's not that Dimitri's level 3 rogue, it's Dimitri.
All right. Do you want to have a look at that door?
Let's do it.
If we get into combat here, would I be able to move around the other party members?
I would
not
like
at the
to see
moment.
Dimitri in
Not unless
action.
you walk around. Like, I'm literally, at this point, I am letting him... He's decided.
It's a 10-foot wide corridor, so there's
No,
certainly room
you
to
don't get
pass.
expert talent till 11th level.
Uh,
So expert talent,
Okay.
where you can't roll less than a 10 on anything you have.
no, expertise.
Expertise, where you double your proficiency bonus on certain skills.
Yeah.
You get it. I think level 2.
You get skills and tricks, sneak attack, combat maneuvers, combat tactic, cunning action, and rogue archetype.
Cunning action. What's that?
That's you get an
You
you
can do
can
extra things as
you
bonus
can do extra
actions.
things as
You
bonus
can use
action.
You can use your bonus action to do dash, hide, and
So
Sorry,
What?
I'm checking because I've got a
Expertise
rogue
in
and
this
level
Okay.
to level 3. It's
So what's the expertise?
Expertise
Thing.
in this is different. It's expertise dice, from what I understand.
yeah. So
Instead of being
expert
double, you
talent
get
is
proficiency.
what you think of as expertise in 5e, where you can't roll less than a 10.
I haven't played a rogue, so
It's one of my go-to classes.
okay.
And reliable talent.
Yeah,
Right.
reliable talent swap.
Okay, so you go to the door.
yep. I'll have a listen, see what you hear on the other side, and
Give me a perception
assuming there's
roll.
nothing interesting on the door.
I'm sort of talking to Mert, going, they have to learn somehow, right? They have to figure this out.
You know when you have a puppy and you toilet train it and you have
Yeah.
to rub its nose and its feces? This is one of those situations.
What is Dimitri's
Yeah.
perception roll?
14, 17, 32.
Okay, he hears a familiar voice saying, "Dimitri, hear me, O servant."
Can we all hear that, or just him?
Just him. He's listening to the door closely.
Stop listening to doors.
Yeah, Dimitri's about to be bombed because obviously if someone who's completely insane thinks Dimitri's anybody's servant. But yeah, that's seemingly coming from the door or from the other side of the door?
From the door itself.
Yep, okay.
As it whispers in your ear. Sweet nothings.
Yep. Seemingly you can't hear anything on the other side of the door. You'll investigate, see if you can find the trap. What is 15, 16, 22.
22. Okay, it does not seem to be trapped.
Okay. Is it being locked?
As you rattle the handle, no.
It will try and open the door, isn't it?
Okay, it opens inwards.
What can we see on the other side?
You can see a room that appears to be set up for 10 beds, each with a footlocker, and doesn't seem to have any mattresses or bedding on the frames.
You see, look, we've already found a place where we can do nothing where we need to.
I'll stay in your hut.
Sleeper option.
Mm-hmm. Dimitri is welcome to sleep on one of the beds. I am staying in the hut.
Can Merc have a look at the footlockers to see if there's anything odd about them?
Doesn't seem to be any foots locked inside them.
Damn, I was hoping for some feet.
While people Merc's looking at footlockers, Dimitri will do the perimeter walk to see if you can get any evidence or any more secret doors and things like that around the walls.
And give me an investigation check as Dimitri starts playing with the walls.
So there's 10 beds, no mattresses.
Over 20.
Okay. Exploring the room for about 10 minutes, you don't find any other exits.
Can I open one of the footlockers?
You can. No creaking.
No creaking.
You can open all the footlockers if you want to.
Alright,
Inside you find a mouse skeleton.
okay. I go ahead and open the rest of the footlockers and leave them open for the party to see what's inside.
Okay. You open 10 different ones, and unfortunately only the first one had something in it.
Bugger. Okay.
It was very valuable to me.
I would like to remind you all that my vision was of a trap. We may have already passed that, we may not.
Well, we are in England.
And the fact,
We seem likely there's lots of traps. We've already got the bypass lots of traps.
Well, it is said that Rapanathak is a trap in its own right.
So, are we continuing or are we setting up a sleep spot? Because that's going to take at least 20 minutes if Merc's doing his rituals.
there's no need.
We don't know what this place is like at dark.
We don't know. Maybe
Well,
the fog
technically it
comes
is
out
dark
and
down here
goes through
already.
here.
Maybe.
This is supposed to be the source of the fog.
Maybe.
According to
haven't seen any
I know
of the
people are fatigued and or it's getting time to actually have dinner. It's not even stop yet. We can come back here and we have this spaces here to actually get up the hut.
We might as well have a look around this in the next hallway, see what's around.
There you go.
Might as well. In for a penny, in for a pound.
Breaking the wall.
Alternatively, we can break the wall.
There is a reason why I put a mark on it, because then I was going to point either you or Trellin at it and say break it.
Yeah.
As that, but the point being the fact that we've now, if nothing else, because Dimitri's, as say, he's happy that he's done the investigation around the entire wall of this room, means that we have a space that has only one entrance and exit, i.e. defensible.
Although the walls look pretty thin.
I would like to remind people that we are definitely not at the power level ready to take on Orcus.
No, but
Big.
She's that frustrated.
And you get a you're welcome.
I think we're at
Oh, servant.
now.
I think we're up to.
People are happy to continue at this stage and don't need to rest yet.
yes, please.
I think so.
Aiming for the trifecta.
As long as we go,
Woohoo!
go too far.
Let's go down
defend ball.
further down the corridor then, out the door and
We
continue
may
around
as
and
well
see what's
follow
around the
around
corner.
the corridor because it looks like it might loop back around.
Martin, do you have a post-it note or something?
I
Not that you're
do.
willing to give me?
What?
In the kitchen, it has some. Are you trying to say, don't say Orcus?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't be. Right.
My mind is frazzled today. I need reminders.
Don't push on them.
Hello, Rhiannon. I'm trying to look for a fight for you.
Wrong character.
You said you wanted to fight for one.
I do, but at the... I do, but...
Okay, so
Boss room.
It does.
moving around, you start to see a green glow coming from the passageway. As you're looking in, you see a large room containing 3 rows of pillars running north to south, leading to 2 deep bronze fire pits that stand against the southern wall. Each fire pit contains a wide bronze bowl, and both of these blazing with eerie green flames that rise 10 feet into the air, throwing emerald sparks towards the chamber's arcing 30-foot high ceiling. And the bowls have leering gargoyle heads around the rims, with massive handles on either side. And the pillars all have gargoyles up the length of it.
So there's no monsters.
Not that you can see.
Let's see.
I think you'll have a closer look at the first of the pillars. Just when I said that the gargoyles are just engraved into it,
So-
not built of it.
How many pillars? It's 3 rows. How many per row?
Okay, there are 3 per row, so there are 9 pillars all up.
And then a fire pit behind each one.
Fire pit at the end of between the pillars.
So there's 2 fire pits?
2 fire pits. And as Dimitri's investigating, give me a investigation roll.
25.
25. Okay, so looking at the leering faces, they don't seem to leap out at you as anything in particular or any sort of monster.
Is it good craftsmanship?
It is rather crude craftsmanship, but done with stone.
Okay.
But rarely do you see high quality gargoyles.
Is there anything on the walls?
The walls are empty.
That's a tick for pushing on.
so far.
I'm gonna touch the green fire.
You want to go touch the green fire?
No, I think he does.
No,
I'm just standing at the back waiting.
I'm standing at the back with the bow.
I'm standing at the back waiting. With a spare the dying cantrip sitting on my fingertips.
I went into the last one. It's your turn to touch something.
No. Dimitri should go.
Go on, Dimitri.
Okay. Demetrius was looking at the pillars first of all. If no one else moved after he's looked at the pillars?
Everyone else but AJ has spoken up. What is AJ doing? Apparently someone suggested touch the flame.
I'm very
Demetrius will
hesitant to touch
certainly
a flame.
eventually get to that part of the room. If you look at each of the
Were
pillars
the
first,
gargoyles on the pillars or on the fire pits?
On the pillars and the fire pits.
Can I... Oh, it's very risky. And I'm a bit risk averse. Can I cast a ritual?
I'm sure you can cast any
Merc is
ritual.
very risk averse.
What ritual would you like to cast?
Identify.
You want to spend a 10 minutes and then touch something?
Yes.
Which thing you want to go
No.
up and spend 10 minutes touching?
The pillar.
where are you going to cast this ritual?
The one that Dimitri's currently feeling up?
Yeah. I love a good threesome.
There are 9 pillars for you to touch.
Well, he wants to pick the one with Dimitri, obviously. He
The
doesn't
one-
like to share.
That's right. The one with the gargoyle.
They're all gargoyles.
But the one that Dimitri is near, so if something happens, he can...
Well, he's
assist.
already touched it, so it's unlikely to affect him in return. He hopes. Okay, so he starts spending 10 minutes doing his ritual casting. What level do you cast it at?
Level 1.
Okay, so that will be a check for you. I believe we'll put it down as a cult, giving you that skill.
Cool.
And that would be 4 plus your spell casting, which is charisma.
10, charisma 7, 17, so 21.
21 means that it will go off and you do reduce your hit points by 7.
In the
And what
meantime,
we're not doing while we're spending 10 minutes casting this ritual?
that's
Standing
right.
around?
I'm going to sprinkle holy water on the...
Green flame.
Yes.
Okay, as you go up to the green flame, I get to look up a monster.
Woohoo!
I was gonna say, Cetus is making bets of children or who's gonna trigger something in the room first.
Yep. My money's on Dimitri.
I was gonna just say Merc. Probably gonna trigger something.
I also would have said me, but...
Well, but I wouldn't have gone with it simply on the idea that he stopped the 10 minutes. And I thought,
Yeah.
oh, no.
That's why I didn't.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be a miss as the flame tries to attack Trellin as it gets an armor class of 20.
That's right.
You combination of that child and
That's
that
the
child.
flames that
Right.
touched you.
We have destroyed.
How far
well,
away
he has
is-
to roll twice.
How far is the
and
way is the
take
flame
the
from
lowest
the
result,
entrance?
So
It is all the way at the other end.
Which is how...
And there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
We're probably
We've got about
entrance, aren't we?
130 feet deep.
So that would be 60 feet, because each square is 5 feet.
Oh, okay, 5 the square.
5 foot squares.
all right. So I'm gonna attack it. 30.
Okay, so
What are you attacking with?
you miss.
Can...
What are you attacking with?
The longsword. I'll take another one. No, that's lower.
What did you get?
19.
You miss.
So,
Do I see... Can I see?
Well, you can.
initiative?
We can go into initiative now because you've just had Trellin attack the flame.
The brave roll done.
So everyone can roll initiative.
But it's the Moonblade. Whatever.
Moonblade.
I'm definitely disconnected from this. I'm rolled a horrible initiative.
Which one's initiative?
So it's well, it depends.
Is it wisdom?
You get to pick
Dexterity.
What would it be
decent
for
enough
perception? So wisdom plus proficiency plus your right.
So what is Trellan's initiative?
29.
27.
27. What is Merc's initiative?
29.
What is Dimitri's initiative?
21. Gold family, nobody's experienced in the gargoyles.
What is Hildebrand's initiative?
Hildren rolled even worse. 6 plus 7, so 13.
What is Cetus's initiative?
14. I beat you by 1.
I'm just so disengaged with this. I'm like,
We both are standing up by the door.
just sighing.
So much being ready for reaction when something went wrong.
Hey, I said I wanted to get out of here.
Okay, so looks like Merc is up first. Apparently you see Trellan with his sword swinging around, attacking the flame.
What?
As you're watching the
I attack
sword
the darkness.
pass through the
Attack
flame.
the darkness. What?
He's fighting his inner demons.
Do I notice a flame attacking him back, or does it just look like he's swinging at a flame?
You've been busily watching a statue trying to get your spell off, which you've already spent the points on, and you've got another
Yeah, you don't
99
get your
rounds to go.
identifier.
Yeah, you're 1% of the way through, you're virtually finished, but you've already spent it.
Excellent, excellent, love it.
I thought you'd appreciate the irony of it.
I think I would realise something's going on, because that is odd behaviour.
But I've got 31 or something. 30.
Which wasn't a hit.
It didn't hit.
So it's impossible.
Is it?
Well, we don't know how what you tried to do or how well you swung or not swung, so...
I watched. It was a good swing. It didn't hit.
Just imagining the Zohan
what am I
fighting
gonna
the
do?
fire.
What am I going to do?
Do you want a suggestion?
Yeah, I think I'll need it.
Area of effect.
Where is it?
My suggestion would
I'm
have
trying
been
to
a lot
remember
of
what-
water.
Yeah, water's good.
Well, he did
I can
use
do that.
holy water.
I mean,
I did.
I guess you could use vicious mockery.
Insult the
Mockery?
fire.
Mock the flame.
You couldn't.
It's a wisdom
Okay, no.
save. It's not an attack roll. So anything that requires a save as opposed to attack roll is more. If a 31 doesn't hit, I'd be going area of effect or saves.
Yeah, I just can't
Professional
find it.
chef couldn't cook an egg on you.
Come on, mock the
Alright,
flame just for the
why
fun
not?
of it.
First thing Merc does is says, I really want to go back to the keep, and then use vicious mockery.
Okay, what's your target creature?
And what do you say to the creature?
Target creature is the flame.
Flame's not a creature.
What's
What's your target creature? You've cast Vicious Mockery.
The bowl?
Ball's not a creature.
You could
Apparently you've
It's
just-
the damn snake again, isn't it?
Apparently you've just used a Vicious Mockery without a target.
Okay.
That's a cantrip. It doesn't matter.
We
I
just
know,
sort of
but it is
thinking
amusing in-
there's some
in
trouble.
either way.
Burn his hand in the fire,
No, I sprinkled holy water.
and it reacted back, and you burnt your hand in the fire.
No, just
He hasn't taken any damage.
Oh,
because I used swords.
I still think we're overthinking this. You're just overreacting with the fire.
So, instead of an attack roll, can I use another cantrip?
No, because you've already used a cantrip.
Okay.
You have to have used the cantrip for you to find you don't have a valid target.
Okay.
That's the unfortunateness of how these things work.
Alright. So, is there a creature in my sight?
You can see Trellan, but you can't see anyone other than the party.
Bugger. Alright. Trellin it is.
Well, you want to attack Trollan? You don't have to.
Oh, I thought I had to.
No, but
no. Then I just.
you can if you wish to. You can mock him for attacking the flame.
He's busy. He's
That's right.
bloody flames. Alright, I just walk back then and get behind some of the tanks.
Okay. Which then brings us to Trollan.
He just follows
Apparently,
right
this
down.
flame has bamboozled you.
Well, I'll step back about 20 feet.
Okay. As you move back, you seem to have provoked an attack from the flame. And it misses you.
There you go.
Sort of flicks out in a blink of an eye and misses you and disappears back into the bowl.
So, okay.
So he didn't just burn his hand in the fire.
Alright, so I'll go back to using my eagle eye longbow.
Mm-hmm.
So you're running how far back?
20 feet. So it's out of 55 feet, but it's out of the range. But I can use one chi point to extrapolate myself and then run 5 feet, 3 feet back.
Well, if you've had something attack you with an attack of opportunity, it means you've just passed out of its threatening range.
Okay.
The only time something can attack you is if you move out of its threatening range. You could literally run the circles around it and it can't attack you. But the moment you step out of its range is when it attacks.
But so
An interesting thing of 5e.
So you can spend one chi point to take the disengage or dash action as a bonus action.
You don't need
on
to
your-
at this point, is
on
what I
your
was getting at. Is
You already get to the out of range.
you triggered it, and then you moved out of its range.
turn. Okay.
So the trigger, it had a reaction, it took its reaction, and then you moved out of range.
Alright.
And the trigger of attack of opportunity for most creatures is on the edge of their range.
18.
And what are you shooting at specifically?
I'm focusing on the middle of the flame,
Mm-hmm.
and I got 33.
Okay, your arrow passes right through the flame, and you hear it impact in the wall behind.
Could this be another hallucination? Or like another.
Or there's something else in the room controlling the fire.
So
You're
it
more
bring-
than 10 feet away from it, aren't you?
So it brings us to Dimitri, to Dimitri explain it to it.
I'm 20 feet away.
Okay. Dimitri will probably move about halfway down the corridor, the room there, and have a look at the fires from a distance and see each big green flame. He's you'll basically take a look and see if you can see what it is about the flame that makes it a bit more vicious than normal.
You can't actually tell by looking at it.
Okay. It moves up to probably about 15 feet away, starts the rest of his movement, and then we'll get going sideways and turning.
I mean, I can move around. I can move around out of line of sight, and game over. It doesn't. So I don't know what the. If it can shoot around corners, then I guess I'm stuffed.
Okay, you're hiding behind a pillar.
Yes.
And Dimitri has moved closer. It's now Cetus. What is Cetus doing?
Can I just get a description of what the fire is in?
It is in a large 10-foot wide brass... how to describe it? Brass bowl decorated with leering gargoyles with handles on either side.
So it looks as if though it could be picked up.
Yes, by maybe a couple of ogres or a troll or maybe a giant.
Or a very big elf.
No, yeah, a
I
hill
can become
giant.
bigger than what I currently am.
No, a hill giant strength, and that's me.
I'm stronger than you.
What?
I don't need magic items to be strong.
He's like +7 in strength.
I'm +6.
I've concentrated on dexterity and wisdom because that's...
And she's
You're a
Cleric.
monk.
Yes.
I'm a barbarian. I need strength
Smart
and
and resilient.
constitution.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because I get dexterity and wisdom forms my armor class.
Hmm.
So,
I play Dexy characters.
at the start of my turn, I want to spend 1 technique point to increase my size for the next minute. No action required. Your size increase grants you the following duration. What?
I may have made a typo. I was typing it off my phone.
Okay.
So you expand.
Yes, you grow bigger.
There's a couple more things after.
Though I do keep thinking of Big Trouble in Little China, of that guy just expanding till he explodes.
Yeah.
Or Life of Brian.
Mhm.
Not Life of Brian, Meaning of Life.
Yeah, Monty Python.
I'm not going with the suggestion that I think it was Paul made of pufferfish. I'm doing what I initially thought of the lots of miniature tentacles, just
Forming
muscular.
muscles.
Doing muscular from the anime.
Yeah.
So I am now large.
You are now Tentacle Boy.
Yes.
Yeah. I have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Does this mean that Merc is now showing more interest?
I don't know.
No-
What's Merc's
no-
proclivities?
No less interest.
And once on each of my turns, when you hit attack, you hit an attack, it deals an extra 1d4 damage. And that is a 1 point.
Okay. So yes, you are bigger. What do you do?
I would like to move towards the fire,
Which fire?
the one that attacked him.
Okay. How far can you move?
Currently 40 feet.
Not quite far enough.
I will use a bonus action to double my movement speed for the next minute.
Okay, you are now right next to the fire.
I would like to pick the fire up and just flip it over.
Okay. Did any of your things do an action?
No.
So your growth is not an action?
No action required, and the
No.
movement speed was a bonus
Just had
action.
to ask. And so yes, give me an athletics check. Because you do have to make a check.
And an advantage on this. Let's help if I'm on the right PDF. Okay, good start. 21, 25. I think just 25.
25. Okay, yes, you do manage to lift up the big brass
Yeah, I did
bowl. And what you were doing after you lifted up?
I wanted to just like flip it over to try and snuff out the fire.
Throw it down on top of itself?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a big clang as it goes down and one of the lights goes up. Woohoo!
That might not be a good thing.
Okay, so that is your action. Then it is Hilderim's go.
Okay.
I've run 55 feet around this corner.
Back to the barracks.
Yeah.
I move to.
I've run 55 feet.
I'm
around
60
here.
feet away from the other fire pit,
Yep.
and I cast Shatter.
You cast Shadow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On the other fire pit.
Okay, so that means that we are going to have Cetus do a Constitution saving throw, as does Dimitri. No, actually, Dimitri's just out of range.
I didn't think Dimitri went in range.
Because it creates a big sonic boom.
This is a spell. I believe I get advantage.
damage unless that is something.
So I've run 55 feet
Mm-hmm.
out of the one that was impaired. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. You could have run out quite easily.
Cool.
You only got the attack of the moving back from it.
Okay.
And once you got the attack, you were out of its range.
Right. Thank you very much, Cetus.
I can very much pull you back into it.
What?
He can.
The thing that I did to increase my size, one of my other ones is I can pull allies towards me.
No.
You have to be.
Yeah, you
You have to be
can
an
save
ally.
against it. You have to be an ally, and if you're not willing, you have to make a save.
So he can even make unwilling allies come to me.
Well,
Alternatively, I can deal them 2d10 bludgeoning damage and force them to come over.
what is the save? Because I've got a ring of...
my thing is for dex saves, not constitution saves.
That's okay,
14.
because I've got a ring of evasion.
Yeah, that doesn't save.
Yeah.
A ring of evasion
So
lets me
do your
win.
3d8 thunder damage.
19.
So 19 damage on Cetus. So Cetus is in the walls a bit, so... As there's a loud gong ringing through the complex, echoing very loud to everyone's ears within 30 feet of 300 feet of it. So no matter around the corner, your ears are ringing painfully as someone's just rung the bell.
Yep.
You may need to call the set off the alarm.
I cast it on the fire pit. Does anything happen?
It made this really obnoxious, really loud noise that Cetus is now bleeding out of the ears from.
But it doesn't, like, shatter the bronze.
Does not shatter it, no. It doesn't do enough damage
Doesn't
to
move
break
it.
the brass. Does not move it either. Brass generally has higher hit points than that.
Should have gone and stood beside it and done Thunderwave.
All of you just skip your turn and let me flip the other one.
Okay. So it is now Merc's go. Your ears are ringing.
Did,
Apparently you're love struck.
Well, that's not
Big,
uncommon.
muscular.
So
By
the-
Tentacle Man.
Not uncommon for me.
the flipping the
I don't.
The light went out.
I
The
don't
light
understand.
One
went
light
out.
went out.
I
There's
don't
two
understand.
lights.
So
And
Merc doesn't understand.
did that cause the boom,
Why?
or was
No,
it something
I
else?
cast Shatter.
No, apparently
okay.
the fire is very unappealing.
Everyone's attacking the fire. Merc doesn't quite understand why we're attacking the fire. Because it's just fire. And it only attacked you when you went to it. And as soon as you went away, it stopped attacking you.
I
Almost.
don't think you went back to fire. They just went through and done.
I mean, you could heal him.
I could, but he told me he's going to chop my hand off before. So I think I'll make him suffer a little bit more. Merc just goes back towards the doorway and just takes it all in.
Okay, so yes, your ears are still ringing painfully.
Yeah.
Bringing us to Trellin. You're in the corridor by yourself. Your ears are ringing.
I'll run back around the corner, but
Yeah.
just not because I've got 1,200 feet of range,
You're brilliantly silent. You can't even hear your own footfalls.
and then I aim for the brass thing that the thing
Flame.
is emanating
Yep.
from, and have another go. 13. 28.
Okay, that's a hit. You impact into the side of the brass. But no
Okay.
critical hit.
What?
You cannot critical hit it.
Alright.
Yeah. You can go down the line, but
So that was 31 damage.
Okay, you hear it clang loudly as your arrow impacts on it. Then you think you have dented the bowl.
Alright, I'll give it another go.
I'm assuming it's the one that's still up, not the
Yes.
one that's down.
That's right. So that's a 28.
That's a hit.
$28 damage.
Okay, you also see it dent and not actually knock it over.
Okay.
Which brings us
We
to
stopped
Dimitri.
ringing the bell.
Dimitri, you've heard 3 dings now so far. Apparently, it's time to fight.
The bowl got knocked over and the light went out, i.e. the flame went out. Is that what you mean?
Yes, because you can't see the flame because it's been smothered.
Is it
Okay,
actually
okay.
smothered
So the
or
bowl
is it
actually
just
ended
hidden?
upended, is it?
Yes, he upended the bowl.
Okay.
That's what he said he was doing.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Move up
The
towards
question
where
is, it is actually
was
smothered
the
or just
bowl
hidden?
on
Still
a
going
tripod or a pedestal or?
It was on a tripod.
Again.
You can see the tripod sticking up out of the base of the bowl.
Okay. Well, Dimitri will go up and have a closer look at the bowl then, like the underside of the bowl.
There's no automation on the bottom of the bowl. You feel very disappointed. As we move over
No gargoyle?
no gargoyles. The gargoyles are on the rim. So it's over to Cetus.
Gargoyle free zone.
What does Cetus do?
Walk over and flip the other one.
Well, you don't really have to walk. You can just turn and lift because you're so big. You're right next to them.
Oh, because
So
you
I think since he's 8 feet tall normally, he's only like about a foot taller.
Once you got to the large size,
Yeah.
you basically take up extra squares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Large size technically takes
4
up
squares.
a 10-foot square. Even if it's
Like-
only a
And you've
40
got to be
high.
all reached
Yeah, I
too.
was like, height-wise, he's only gained about a foot.
But bulk-wise, you've gained more bulk. So what is your athletic
Anyway.
check?
Go for it.
Question. First roll, I believe I have advantage on these. Because of, look,
You did last time. Unless something has changed in the round.
I got distracted by Merc staring at my ass.
Those tentacles.
That was a 10 and a 9, so I think the 10... The 4 bonuses. The 10 would become a 20.
You are struggling. You don't quite, break something. But hey, there is a lot of effort with no show. Do you grunt loudly?
Okay.
Okay. So yes, we have Cetus doing the whole muscular tentacle show for the purposes of our Merc.
Merc-likey.
Right.
As it is now Hilderon's turn.
I flick a healing word as a bonus action over on Cetus, doing 16. Healing 16 hit points.
To make sure it's a reaction because if you're hungry, let's go back to the bedroom.
And what else does Hilderon do?
Thinking. Does Dimitri actually get to say that?
Well, I'm sure he can say back to the bedroom.
Okay, I turn and walk away.
Well, if Cetus is the most useful person, we can just leave him here and just get outside of 300 feet.
Okay, so there is Cetus notices the flame try to attack him as a flick of light.
Okay.
Not very good, not very successful at attacking you, but you're sure you saw scales.
Did Dimitri notice anything?
Is it flame snake?
Unfortunately, Cetus is between you and the ball, so no.
After that, that's right.
I'm doing what Dimitri told me to do. I'm heading back to the barracks.
Okay, Merc.
I'll also head back to the barracks. I didn't see anything.
Okay, Trellin. Everyone seems to be heading back to the barracks.
Well, given my 2 arrows didn't do anything, really.
Apparently the flame wasn't a creature.
But
in the pose.
but I will still hang around.
But apparently my shadow.
Would
didn't
you
hit the
like
thing in
to
the pot.
ready in case you see movement to shoot the movement?
No, because I would like to duck around the corner.
Okay.
So
You're close but not inside.
That's right.
Okay. You are protected from the flame. As we move over to Dimitri. Does Dimitri follow his own advice?
He's moving off towards the bedroom, just up just north of us. Calling to Cetus, saying, leave it, we don't know who's coming after all those goalies. Come back and check if nothing comes through.
What does Cetus do?
I'd like to hold my action for if I see something with scales and move again.
Okay.
And attempt to grab it. That's
You
probably
can-
not the smart idea.
You can hold your action. And Hilderon, do you continue moving to the barracks?
Yep.
Okay.
So Dimitri used a bonus action to dash, so he's gone effectively 90 plus feet. So.
Okay, so this time not a critical fumble on the creature's turn. So it does manage to hit you. Dealing 10 points of piercing damage, and you get to make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm good at
Martin said it was Martin.
It's another one. You're doing it to me again. No, I'm not there.
What?
She's just having flashbacks.
I'm having cross-character flashbacks.
Ah, right.
It's an elemental
And
snake,
Cetus didn't actually see what was happening.
which has displacement and camouflage.
Ah.
So after everyone else has left the room, we're back to Cetus.
I feel like it has something that activates when I get attacked.
Do you have any insight?
I have
Area of
raging
attack.
threat.
Area of. This is why I did shadow, but apparently I didn't hit the creature, even though I centered the
I
shadow
rolled
on the
it.
bowl.
I had to do a constitution.
Oh, it
save
would have
before.
taken damage.
But not enough.
I didn't know that. I've been told to go back to the barracks.
I had to do a constitution save.
Yes.
I rolled
Why
a
would you
20,
listen to
which is
Dimitri?
like 35.
Whatever.
Because you guys, you listened to Dimitri. I
No,
wanted to get out of here.
didn't go.
He's waiting just in case
No,
Cetus
no,
needs
no.
help.
I wanted to get out of here.
Yeah, Cetus might need help.
So what does Cetus do?
I'm gonna flip the pot.
Okay, give me another athletics check. You may actually roll a 1 on this one, who knows?
33.
Okay, yes, you have no problems lifting it up and turning it up on end and all the light goes out.
I walk out and go back to the bedroom.
It won't actually
Okay,
be
so
out.
it's, you flip the
It's just
table and
hidden.
leave the room.
Yep.
You feel really good about yourself. And you hear a slight tapping from behind you.
I just keep walking.
I'm probably back at the barracks by now.
Okay, so
And okay, well, Dimitri's there telling you saying, okay, let's just put the beds up, let's move a barricade near the door, so there's a bit of a wall if anything comes through, but otherwise, let's just be quiet and see if anything responds to the alarm.
and you can actually put a it does have a bar that you can put across the inside of the door.
And was that the one with the secret door?
We will wait for everybody to actually get in before we
That
put the
was-
bar on the door.
That was room 12 you were just in. And the barracks is room number 8.
Yep.
So we can
I follow your lead, O wise wizard.
He's wise, not intelligent.
say you're in room number 8 now. And you may eventually find out what it was that was confusing you.
Well, there's still 45 minutes to go.
Okay, so yes, you're safely in the room. Let's see if something does come and try to say, what was that?
Listening for a response.
I will tell them that I heard something tapping as I flipped the second one.
I'm alert, so I've got my passive perception running.
Okay, so
I have attentive.
Yes. Me too.
I have observant.
and Hilderon keeps hearing whispers of, "I'm glad you're listening to me, my servant." As you're concentrating on noises and you keep hearing a voice speaking to you. Whispering in your ear, not in your head. As you've now said his name 3 times, I'm sure
No,
he'll
I
go
haven't.
for the...
Only twice.
Almost got you to say it a 3rd time. No, I haven't said Orcus.
Only twice. I have big note.
I can't blame me for trying.
Blue.
No.
The colour of my wristband. Black. Aha, gotcha. What? No, I was supposed to not say blue.
What was Free Willy again? What type of was he?
Wasn't that the water dragon?
Okay, so yes. How long do you wait to hear something?
Eventually probably working on the idea of probably 10-20 minutes or so before, if we hear nothing, then we can...
No, you don't actually hear anything.
Oh, I'm constantly hearing something.
Yep. But Dimitri's not, because Dimitri's apparently not as interested. He doesn't he doesn't pay attention to voices that aren't his, including other party members apparently.
That's right. They're not worth listening to. There's only one person doing worth listening to.
Yes. He doesn't listen. Oh, wise leader, where are we going now?
I thought you
Well,
were the leader.
so it's interesting that if there's no response to touch
It's
going
called
out of the line,
sarcasm.
it's likely that
we
those
don't
might
do
be
that.
somewhat deserted. I would suggest that we
Do you
finish
tell us you see scales?
forming a bit of a barricade with the beds.
I thought I did.
No, but I was already out of the room. Do you tell us when you come back to the
So
barracks?
Jeremy, did you hear that you could actually put a bar across the inside of the door, because there is one in the room?
Yeah, no, I heard that, but I said we weren't doing that until at least everyone got into the room.
Yes, it might be, hey, 1 less person, 2 less people. So yes, you get into the room and they can bar the room after you're inside.
If you go, well, hey, it doesn't hurt to have the barricade with the bed, because people are going to sleep on the bed, so there's no mattress, not much use in having the beds themselves, or at least, how many beds were there?
There were 10.
Okay, so there's a few spare beds anyway. But I said we could make a bit of a barricade up, not up against the door, but leaving, say, a 10-foot space in front of the door. So if anything comes through, bars the door down while we're resting, and they've got some more barricade to get over before they can get to us.
Okay, give me an engineering check to set up your barricades.
Do you say you saw scales?
Yes.
Okay. Can I do a nature check?
Sure.
And that there was something tapping after I got the second pot.
30. Okay, yes, you believe you'll set up a serviceable barricade.
Nat 20.
Natural 20. You don't think it's a natural animal?
That's what it gives me?
Yes, because it's not a type beast, type, all the other types that fall under nature.
That's why I didn't give it an expertise dice. Okay.
And you're saying that there was something, it wasn't just the fire that was attacking?
There's definitely something that was moving inside the fire pots. That wasn't the fire.
Well, it's not natural, so if anybody has an idea of a magical creature...
Yeah, green fires aren't usually natural,
So
unless you mix something in with the fire.
Yes, that there are creatures that can do things.
I could try a cantrip of Mino-Ethromancy, which
It
calls the
appears to be
spirits to give me...
leave people alone, but get close to the fire. So
Might be something.
I can look through the room and make sure that there's nothing else to find there, assuming there's nothing like I say. Let's not about the fire itself.
We might be out of range, though, is the only thing.
Would Dimitri like to go back to that room now that you've rested for 20 minutes? Or do you want to take a short rest and make it an hour?
30 minutes would be fine. Because my chi points would regenerate.
Does that regenerate on
I thought
a
we
short
didn't.
rest?
I
or-
thought we didn't
Just
need
says
rest.
30 minutes.
I thought we didn't need rest. I thought we were just going to keep going.
Well, I only burned 1 out of 12. So I'm happy.
I'm a human. I need to sleep at some point.
I think I used 1 out of 5 for the
Oh, I'm
resource that I
fine.
used.
Well, if people are, if there's no response, hey, we've got the room set up for where we want to take over the rest. Might as well go and
Okay,
check out
so
the,
you get your chi points back from a short or long rest, not from 10 minutes. Okay. So that's where the you use the same pool of your chi as everyone else uses for combat maneuvers.
Okay.
So if
Carry
you,
on.
So if you,
I can make do with 1 less.
How far apart were the fire pits?
the fire pits were about 10 feet apart.
How large?
and how far away from
The walls were 10 feet wide.
30 feet.
What was the last question there, Jeremy?
How far away from the walls?
They were against the far wall.
Are they against the wall? Okay.
They were against the wall, they're not against the wall now.
Oh, you end up tipping over both of them?
Both of them were tipped over, but of course you don't know that because you weren't there to see the second one.
No, that's what I was asking. He was checking if they were both tipped over in the,
Do we care about the creature in the bowls?
no, I don't believe so. It's more a case of just looking at the if there was any other exit from the room or take the opportunity. There was nothing on the wall, was there?
No.
There was no.
I mean, the reality is we walked into that thing's home and flipped its house over.
Well, if you'd
You just probably do
see
some cow tipping at some point.
how big that room is, surely there might be a secret door.
They had to pass the Dex or con or whatever it was, save the thingy. Because I did enough damage that it should have killed it.
Right. So are we going
The,
back to the room? Is that what's happening?
If you want to go and search the room properly, you certainly can. I would suggest that at least a couple of people stay alert, because
I'm always alert.
Yeah, right.
if the fire
Well, I've pissed off the.
light,
But is that the same one that you flipped over?
He flipped
I
both
flipped
over.
both.
Okay. All right.
So
He's
as
an
long as we
equal
don't
opportunity
lift the
flipper.
bowls.
Yeah.
As long as we don't lift the bowls, we should be
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Right.
I'll keep my hands to myself.
I
Let's
will
go
stand
back.
at the entranceway into the room and just be alert.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you move back into the room.
and we'll start taking a look along the walls to see if there's any evidence of packaging or
You can
things like that. As I said, Dimitri is also
Didn't mind it.
keeping alert for
Yeah, no, that
any little scaly things if they're still around, but
The spirits that give us a brief bit of knowledge around the room.
Yeah.
Because you can.
It's a
you know,
cantrip.
you look in all
You're not
directions
gonna
at the
waste
same
it.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So can I go sort of towards in the middle of the room and cast, what was it? It was
Minor Aethermancy.
Minor Aethermancy.
You can.
And I'm looking to call on the spirits to tell me knowledge about the immediate area.
You can do that. So Jeremy, you do notice that there is a secret door roughly where the S is.
Uh-huh.
This one was obvious on this side.
Yeah.
Well, for someone who has a very high passive perception, it's obvious.
Yeah.
And you start doing your minor ethermancy. You get greetings, pupil.
Pupil's much better than servant, I suppose.
Probably not that much better though.
Not a whole lot better.
What sort of death would you like to create today?
No death, but I'd like
Are you sure you're asking the right person?
No, I'm not sure.
Well, you should be sure. You've called upon me.
You can point me in the right direction.
Just keep going down and you'll eventually find me.
Could you tell me more about this room?
It is a room. A good place to commit suicide or kill a friend.
Okay. What was it used for previously?
Very much similar things.
Okay. What is the meaning of the brass bowls with the flames?
What brass bowls?
The ones that are flipped over.
I can't see them. I can see you clearly, though.
Okay. Well, I've got a fan. What do you teach your pupils?
How to kill things.
How to kill anything or certain things?
He's an equal opportunity murderer.
Okay. I'm not disliking this guy.
Never mind.
No. He's got
He's the
Thanos-
pig lord.
He's got the Thanos vibes.
Thanos once destroyed every other god in a plane and ended up destroying the plane because there was no magic.
That's a fair call. So I ask, are you here in the dungeon?
As I am everywhere at the same time, sure.
Okay.
And wherever you call upon me, just use my name. And you know who I am.
Yeah, I say thank you, chat soon, and break the spell.
And you realise that the spell had finished quite a while ago.
Okay.
There was no spell to break.
Very good. Talking directly. I like a good chat.
Does he have any suggestions for who to kill?
Either himself or the party members.
Okay. Oh, if I had to choose one or the other.
So the main three rounds going around will continue putting down the walls and make sure to find any other secret passages or doors. Assuming he doesn't find any, he will go back to the first one and do an investigation to check the traps.
Mm-hmm.
With 1328.
Okay, you find the switch to open that one.
At the same time, I'll tell the party about my interactions.
Has the voice changed its changed what it's
Thank you
saying to
for relaying that message.
Well, it keeps suggesting that, hey, pupil, you are really going to come along now. No, you're no longer minion. You're definitely
no longer a minion now.
you're now a pupil because you've used his name enough. Say my name, pupil. Say my name.
Well, to make sure, make sure that the others are aware that you want to go through the door here? He opens it.
Okay. As you open it, you find that you have found another wall with another secret door.
Nice.
It's a very small room. That feels like a trap.
Okay. Don't let the door close this time.
Chock it open.
Yep.
And he moves forward to look at the next door.
Okay, an investigate check on that one. And what do you chock it open with?
I'll stand at the other door holding it open.
There's a flip brass bowl.
You hear it's like ting, 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 ting from the brass bowls.
From both?
Yes, from both.
That's interesting.
I think that'd be too big to fit in.
I've got five steel chocks. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I will put a steel chock under the door.
You got one less steel chock.
The five pieces which you got from the backpack.
That's
But
good.
yeah, so 30 on the investigation.
Okay, you do find the switch for this one as well.
And no traps.
No traps there either. Would you like to open?
Are people ready? Has the door been chopped or just held at the present time?
The one behind you has been shocked.
Because I can if something happens, then I'd rather not people suddenly forget to hold the door. But,
Well, hey, if it's August on the other side, you might find yourself in some trouble.
Oh, it's 10,
it'd be nice to be able to get back to and potentially remove the shop.
10 iron spikes.
So you now have 9.
So you open, Jeremy?
Yep.
Okay.
In response to you relaying your conversation, I say, I'm hearing them all the time. 24 hours in here is not going to be a good thing for me.
No, and I say to you, does he call you pupil?
Now he does.
Okay. Does he ask you to murder the party? Okay.
I might have trouble holding the willpower to not listen to that.
I've heard those suggestions as well, but I don't think they're from him.
I'm not trusting. If we have a long rest in here, I'm not trusting the vision I get.
Just like you should listen to voices. And what's information?
It's like how I'm going to use this dice to roll the, give somebody a number roll.
It doesn't matter which one you get. You can give them. If it's bad, you can give it to somebody else. If it's good, you can give it to you or one of us.
I mean, I'm wanting a bad number, which is why I'm rolling this one. This one, and it's clone. And do not like me.
I think you need a dice tray because I'm watching how it rolls and it just like slides.
I've noticed that as well, and I have a dice tray. I just keep forgetting to bring it. I have one of the ones that Martin's using to prop up the camera.
I mean, you could roll in that.
I have no idea what this is.
It works.
Yeah, I got it from the Vinnies. It had a piece of wood nailed in the center. So
It works.
Right.
I do like your motor dice.
Okay, so looking into this room. The thing you notice immediately is there are a set of stone stairs leading downwards and a huge statue before you of a human skeleton with each hand resting on a stone wolf on a 5 foot tall dais.
What's that in the corner?
That is a set of stairs
Set of
going
stairs.
down.
going down. Okay.
I don't think we want to go further down just yet.
Deeper in the dungeon.
And where's the statue?
The statue is right before the secret door.
Oh, okay, so we're basically, is it facing us or is it face away from us?
Facing the room.
Okay, yeah. But it hasn't apparently reacted to a door opening behind it.
It has not reacted to a door opening behind it.
Okay. He says face directly move behind it.
You can move behind it, yes.
Okay.
Do you want us to make some noise?
Why?
Just to distract it?
The meter was going off when the alarm clock came off 20 times in the last room.
Carry on.
Can I investigate the statue to see if there's anything odd about it?
You can.
And this room is 13.
That is 26 actually.
17.
17, okay. It does seem to be made out of stone, but the thing that it is standing on does seem to be hollow.
Dimitri's going to, while he's at the statue, Dimitri's going to look at the inside of the door. He's still in the, so did the secret door open into the small space or in towards the statue?
The secret door opens into the small space. Well, it's sort of more of a pivoting wall. So it sort of opens into both.
Okay. Well, Dimitri will maybe go to the door itself to see, hey, make sure it's not going to, is it going to be kind of closed on us again? And we can open it from this side or the other side. And then we'll aim to chop it open. I think he carries. No, he doesn't carry pigeons, he'll put pigeons and say, can we go around on pigeons?
Yes, I've got 9 of them. Now I've got 1 less.
We can pick it up on the way back.
Well, you can also
I mean, I also have them, but I'm just sitting here waiting for something to happen and rolling my eyes.
I
keep hearing it in the other room. Tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, I can handle that.
From the brass things turned upside down.
The fire snakes are trying to tap against the edge. As I said, leave them alone and we'll be fine. Calcrix will approve. She was very unhappy when they ended up killing the rock snake.
Okay, so
Assuming that they're not going to suffocate.
So both doors are chopped.
skeleton seems to be unmoving.
And there's
Hollow base.
it's a hollow box that it's standing on, right?
It is a hollow box that it is standing upon.
Almost like it's trapping something in there.
Tap, 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 tap.
Dimitri will go in and at least and have a walk down the stairs, like the top coming up the stairs.
Okay, give me an intelligence check.
11 downgraded.
11 downgraded. Okay, so yep, there's stairs.
Yep, it has that. And it doesn't go up, all good.
Is there anything about investigation?
Well, I'm sure you can investigate.
And all I'm still hearing is just the voice, nothing else.
You do hear the voice goading you a little bit.
Did Burke was investigating the statue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Merc was
Did you need
investigating
to
this.
hollow box over there?
I've told the room that the box is hollow, that the statue is standing on. Is it also made out of rock or stone, or is it
Does seem to be made out of stone.
a hollow? Okay.
And you do find a hole.
A
hand-sized hole in the side of it.
yeah, I'm not doing that.
I was gonna say, are you joining the idiots or?
It's a whole lot of milk.
It's a whole lot of notes.
What could go wrong, I'm sure, is that what you're thinking after how many things that have gone wrong so far?
So I show people that there's a hole into the base. Yeah.
I turn and go, it's not Jenrick, but Cetus.
Would my hand fit in the hole?
Not while you're loaded tentacle guy. Tentacle guy.
That only lasts for a minute.
In which case, then
Send a tentacle in.
I don't want to lose another one because I haven't actually brought out my tentacles since the last one got cut off. I don't know if I'm into that.
well, he
It
donated it.
regenerates. Yeah.
I mean, my logic says that they would, but
It might take time over to regenerate.
I also never specified how many he has. Considering he can cover his whole body in them, it doesn't make a difference.
Is the statue and the base one piece of rock?
No.
Or are they two separate
Two separate pieces.
So we could just give the statue a bit of a push together, I suppose.
Statue is on more than just its feet. It has two walls either side, also providing 4 main points of contact. As the walls are sitting down providing very big stabilization points.
While they're thinking about it, can I do a religion check?
Sure.
Since we are in Rapanathak, and I have expertise on fiends, would I get expertise on this check?
No.
Cool.
It's not a fiend.
It's a construct.
I thought I'd ask. 27.
Okay, using your instincts, you feel it's another statue of Orcus. Because Orcus just keeps listening to you and saying, yes, that's me. Call out my name. I know you want to.
Guys, that's the pig god. Do I recognize what the wolves would be?
Maybe he is doing a rendition of Zerchev.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm getting twitchy. Because the wolves are a Zerchev thing.
I know.
That's why you...
It's vicious mockery, but in stone form.
Yes.
Stone mockery.
Stone mockery.
I would highly suggest we do not go down tonight.
No, there's a door across there.
Yep, that's fine. I'm just saying, don't go
Dimitri
down.
have a investigation around the dais.
Yep.
If to set this anything more than a hole that shows that. Well, do we see anything inside from the hole? But that's it might look to see if there's any exit for it or anything like that. So.
Okay, so you have a look. You can see that there does seem to be... It is hollow inside, so maybe there's something in there.
Yeah. But the only way of getting into it is be through the small hole. Is that the case?
It does.
I mean, if you want, I could shatter it.
And that
That
statue
would
has to fall.
probably bring the statue
Yes.
down on top of whatever's inside.
It is very close to it.
And besides, as I said, we don't necessarily keep ringing the alarm bell.
Oh, I thought we weren't being that cautious. I thought it was okay. Dimitri knows all. Dimitri can take down all.
See,
Doesn't need any intelligence or preparation or thought at all.
You're getting it. So
And,
Dimitri is the devil.
and Hildren does get an agreement from her shoulder god at the moment going, yes, I believe you're right. Keep thinking that way, pupil.
That pig god encourages me to keep thinking that way, Dimitri.
As I said, just when has Dimitri ever been incautious?
Yes.
I was relying on the rest of the party to try and tamp that down, but nobody's listening to me today. That's okay.
And you hear a voice going, I am.
Walk into the library on fire.
Apparently your shoulder god is listening.
Dimitri keeps very close awareness of everything going on around you.
Cetus, why don't you just push the statue over and see what happens? Seems to be the way we're going.
And I push the whole thing away from the door.
You can try.
Can you pick it up and then put it
I might-
down?
Probably not this one, considering
Well, it's hollow.
The
base is
statue's
hollow.
not, the base is.
it's either that or I just try and Jenga it.
So it's 10 feet tall statue of a skeleton and two wolves.
Well, you told me,
Sears goes up to about 9 feet. You probably could pick it up.
because you told me
Generally not
that
solid
my
stone.
hill giant strength wasn't good enough, and
Elf
yours
giant
was.
strength. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elf
So,
giant strength.
He's generally referring to it when he goes up a size category.
right.
Because it means you can generally lift 4 times the amount.
Okay.
Yeah, so his standard is +6.
And when you go up 2 size categories, you can lift 16 times the
And
amount.
so, what's the cost of the
What
You'd
would
only
essentially
have-
be,
powering up?
It'd be like 1 chi point for you, I think.
Yeah.
No,
Does
I
it-
had
does it use an
technical
exertion point?
I think you've got
so
4 technique
technique.
points. It's not an exertion, it's a technique. I think you've got 4. You've got as many as you have techniques. Elemental techniques.
I have 5, so I have 5.
So how big's the hole in the dais?
Hand size.
The dais hole is about 1 foot wide.
Big enough for a Dimitri to stick his hand in.
So if you see a hole inside, can we see anything inside?
Okay,
Through the hole.
just looking through the hole. It doesn't seem to see much, but you do think there's something on the bottom.
Reminded. Can I have my wolf pendant back?
Well,
I dropped it.
let's just hold off on that
You dropped it?
no, we want to be able to look at it,
That's why it made me think of it.
but
Whoever's hand, you can put the
because
wolf tooth pendant
the
in.
dark
It's
vision
glowing.
isn't as optimal as the light pendant.
That's why I'm checking. Like, if we've got my pendant back.
No. Let's have a look at it.
No, but that's what I mean. If I have the pendant, I hand it to whoever's going to put their hand in.
And what was that, Jeremy?
So I can cast dancing.
I was just saying, it doesn't matter who's carrying the pendant right now.
Pendant.
The pendant being used for my light. So, and yes, if the pendant gets put inside the block, then basically you're going to see what down the
Who's putting it in the box?
I'm not.
Hopefully not something in the box grabs it.
Do we need to put it in the box to light up what's inside?
To see what's in the bottom of the box, yes.
Can I cast dancing lights into the box?
That's a spell slot.
That's cantrip.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
You could cast dancing lights into the box.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll give that a
Okay.
try.
I put my
Okay.
pendant back on.
So yes, you've got 4 lights in the box taking up the box.
I can't see anything with the light or anything.
Well, it takes up the entire space of the
You
box.
could have just cast 1 in the box, and then you actually have 6 that you could place around the room.
Can I control all but 1 out?
Well, you can recast it.
Yes, it's
I
a cantrip.
recast it with 1. I recast it with 1 into the box and the other to each corner of the room.
You've got 6. So maybe 1.
One in the box, one above everybody's head.
Well, they've
Yeah.
actually got to be within a certain range of each other.
Yeah, so
And he can do it as a medium-sized humanoid as well.
I've got 120 feet.
Get that guy to stick his hand in.
I don't
It's
think he can
light.
grab things.
Yeah.
So I cast 1 in the box and 1 above each head, and another just floating around the room.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see what appears to be a skeleton lying in the bottom with chainmail, and basically it does seem it's been there for a while.
How did it get in there? If the opening's only
How big is a skeleton?
It is that of a looks like a halfling.
That's how it is.
and just chainmail.
You can see it does seem to have some weapons and a pouch.
Is it within arm's reach? Or...
Possibly. Would you like to try?
Oh, I really do, but I know it's stupid. I reach for the pouch.
Okay. As you reach for the pouch, the ceiling of the statue falls on you.
What? Bugger.
And you feel something attached to your arm.
I knew it.
Rather slimy.
Feeling of attack you, or the dais inside?
Something from the ceiling of the dais inside.
Okay, right, inside off. Yeah.
Can we join to keep it up while someone cuts the slimy thing?
His arm's inside where the thing's attached to it.
You don't know.
So is my arm
I mean, I
down or
guess he
up?
screamed, so I know
your arm
something's
is
wrong.
inside the 1 foot hole, and that's where something landed on it.
Yeah. Can I pull my arm back far enough?
It doesn't
to my-
reach out. It's something's it's too big to come out of the hole.
Slimy? Was it slimy or
Slimy.
sticky?
Slimy and sticky.
Okay.
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Column B. Is it the sort of thing where I can get my dagger and cut it off me and pull my arm out?
You could if you could reach your other arm inside the hole.
Can't both get in there.
Well, let's just smash the statue.
Hang on. The hole is a foot wide. He can't draw his arm back at all.
No, because what's wrapped around his arm is too big.
Is it actually doing any damage to him yet?
Well, now that he's been confused for a little bit, he takes 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Well, if you drop to the floor, so your arm is at the bottom of the hole, you'll be able to attack it from above your arm through the hole. Like other people do something to it. So.
Can we see? Can I see?
It is a brown leathery sort of looky thing.
Okay, can I cast Sacred Flame?
You can, yes.
It needs to do a check. It needs to do a dexterity check.
Oh, it doesn't.
Okay, it takes 5d8 radiant damage.
Nice.
Don't worry, it shall share that pain.
Ah, okay.
Great.
Which is why I was dodging.
Yeah.
That's connecting something on an intimate level.
20.
Okay, so
20 radiant.
looks like Merc also takes 20 points of radiant damage.
Stop hitting your teammates.
I hit the thing.
As it burns off you.
Oh, that's good. I pull my arm out.
Yep, you've got little teeth marks all up your arm.
I'm okay with that.
I would also like to point out everybody has healing potions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you like me to healing
Do we get a chance to work out what it might be?
Dimitri does believe it was a giant
Cast
leech.
tiny hut. That's a long rest.
Yeah.
So we should all get. We all get healed in long rest.
Well,
don't we?
let's just smash the statue.
I really
Why?
We can just
Really
leave
want
it
that
there.
pouch. That pouch could have
The leech
gold
pouch?
in it.
Yeah.
I burned the leech off. That doesn't necessarily mean it's dead.
So did it come from?
We have a wizard with arcane hand. If we want the pouch, arcane hand can go in and get it.
Alright.
You place your hand to go in and get stuff out of the bucket. Out of the
You do have your magic fishery.
Mm-hmm.
Six an elbow in and then does mage hand for you.
Well, I didn't need that. I'll be fine.
Okay, so yes, you do pull out a bag. It has some coins and a gemstone. So 15 gold and a jasper.
Pull the weapons out as
Hey,
well.
we've got to put everything else as well.
Do we see this or is Dimitri looking at it?
Dimitri doesn't, I don't think Dimitri cares if someone else sees it.
Is it going into the party inventory or yours?
Well, Dimitri basically put the hand in, pulled out something, i.e. the pouch, the first thing, put it on the ground, put the hand in, pulled out the weapon.
So you have a long sword and short bow, but you can't get out the chainmail.
Yep.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
Chainmail too heavy for his mage hand.
Longsword and a short
Can you pull
bow.
out the dead leg?
Can you pull out the?
The leg?
I believe
He
you got.
got to have a look to see exactly what it was.
You got the longsword, the short bow, and the pouch.
Yep. Yeah, the monster.
The monster, the leech. No, because it was actually burnt away. 20 points was enough. 20 points was enough to incinerate it.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Dimitri, is that going in your inventory or party inventory?
When it's Dimitri ever tried to play, random all bits of better.
Okay. I know Dimitri's a hoarder.
Yes, he just hoards it.
He will be right back to life.
He hoards it from dead people.
Right.
Until it gets stolen off him.
Drazzle's not awake. I need him to wake up so I can get that cloak of displacement. Okay. Cool. So, don't go downstairs. Are we going through the door?
What time is it now?
Okay, we're probably approaching a time when people are starting to feel a bit tired, aren't
Yep.
they?
We still have hours before
Yeah,
that.
to get a door. There's another door.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just in
Another door?
This is a real-
It hasn't
No,
appeared on
in-game
the
hours.
other map yet. But I will.
We want you to go back in time to get back, chat, reflect, talk to people, check on progress, and then have a long rest.
and potentially get more natives.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
now appeared.
That's good.
Okay.
So we've got plenty of time.
It's starting to get towards the end of the long day.
It's not.
To go back to the,
But it's not. It's not hitting the end of a long day. We have hours.
Oh, good. Okay. People were concerned that it was something to get in the day.
It was getting close to sundown. If we were going back, we needed to do so. We needed to get out of the mouth of doom before the fog came out. Since we're not going to, we have hours to explore.
Alternatively, we can try and brave the fog.
It's still a case of that you don't really want to be up and about or doing, you don't really adventure activities for more than 8 hours in a day.
No, we can do 16 hours. 24 hours in a day, we can only use...
You start taking fatigue after 8 hours.
So, but we've got 24 hours. We're only allowed to have one long rest a day. That
Yes.
doesn't equate.
Yes, but the...
You,
But the point is, in one long rest in that 8 hours, you're supposed to, like I say, you've got to get at least 6 hours.
You've got 24...
no, you're doing light activities. So
So-
you're not adventuring. You're doing light activities, and then you're doing a long rest.
So we've got 8 hours of the day. So if we take a long rest now, which isn't actually 8 hours since we started adventuring, then we're not only going to waste 8 hours in a long rest, we're going to be sitting around for another 4 to 6 hours doing nothing.
Yes.
Well, it does have it's irrespective of whether we're above ground or underground. People start thinking about going to bed shortly after sundown because using candles and things is wasting light. Dimitri's happy to keep going, and if you want to keep going, we're more than happy.
We've been adventuring... Okay, we travelled for a bit. We've probably been adventuring for maybe 4 or 5 hours.
We've been up since shortly after dawn.
Yes, but between that and starting the adventure, we weren't doing much.
I believe we were...
We were talking to Cetus.
We
We were talking to
had to
Cetus.
make a trip over to town
That was last night.
to collect your family.
Yes, that was last night.
That was the previous day. And currently where you are, there's only 9 hours of sunlight.
That's it. You want to continue? That was
So
to make sure I don't look at the door to the door.
if I know my body,
Mm-hmm.
I've travelled, I've done all that sort of stuff. How long do I think I have before I take fatigue?
Well, as you haven't really done a huge amount this day, you've only travelled for about 2 hours to... no, it was about 4 hours so far. 4 hours is how much you've actually spent doing stuff.
So we have at least another 4 hours before we need to do anything about long rest. No going down.
I think we should prioritise trying to find a way back to the entrance over
Well,
finding
we've
more
got-
ways further in.
We've got...
We've got other rooms back up in the first corridor.
Yeah, but we don't have a way back to that first corridor currently.
Yes, we do. We have you two.
That's why I'm trying to suggest.
Or me with a shadow spell.
What I'm
I have an
suggesting
unlocked
is we
spell.
go back to where we got cut off and either continue that corridor or try and break back through.
And what was
instead
that,
of
Jeremy?
continuing this way.
The point is, our best point for the night is in fact the barracks where we move to a barricade up and we can barricade the door.
So you're wasting another 4 hours. How long has it been before we...
We've got the easy route back to bed because the two secret doors between them have been...
Then we may as well break out and go home.
What would you like to do for those 4 hours that Dimitri's going to waste by going to sleep?
Like, it's just... It was, the whole point was we were supposed to be here to explore. I've got overridden because we wanted to explore.
Yes.
We're now cutting short. Instead of using 8 hours to adventure, we're using 4 hours. What's the point? Why don't we just go home?
That's what I'm suggesting. Because we've already been here longer than we planned on being.
No, if
Probably
if time's not being shifty, we'd probably be able to reach the surface before sundown. We'd be flying over the mist. But
So we were about an hour in when we got cut off.
Yep.
Probably been close. We rested for about 10 minutes in the barracks.
Yeah, so it's been maybe half an hour to an hour. We
And we
had
were only
3
going-
hours.
I thought we were only going to
Well,
stay
actually,
an hour and a half.
in the
That's
barracks
so that we
was
had plenty of
more
time to
like
get
20
out
30 minutes,
and
we're
get
waiting to
home
get away
before
from
the fog
alarm.
hits. So
What
if
I'm
we're
hearing is that we should try to leave now.
yes,
Sorry, yeah, what was that, Jeremy?
if we're going to take a rest
25
anyway,
on
we may as well
investigation
leave.
on the north door.
Okay, on the northern door, you don't believe it is trapped or locked.
Well, open the northern door.
Okay, you see a very short passageway leading into a collapsed tunnel.
We need to well, what engineering to just confirm whether or not it's going to collapse further, or what might be, if there's any way through.
Okay, what was your engineering check?
33.
The roof does not appear stable.
Leave me here, I
I
have.
would not suggest going that way.
They are disrespecting you. Kill them. Kill them.
I'm off.
Oh, is that the seller? I should kill all of them and just leave?
Okay, so at this point, would we like to call it a night with Martin finishing up as
Yeah.
well? And we shall see next session where the continuing argument of do we go or do we stay? Or do we go down further?
We are not going down.
Currently, as Orcus keeps suggesting.
Well, we're not finding super delicious treasure, but whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to put it to end credits.
They had 200 gold.